here again. Subscribes. Morning, beautiful world. Sky Blue Fishing back here. Coming to you all live. Live from beautiful Northern California. Home of the big fish. Home of the gorgeous big rainbow trout. I'm back, y'all. About to throw out bobber with a float with a worm. Got some beautiful big trout in here. So I'm gonna try and catch them. Let's go do it. Cindy, good morning. Just threw my bobber out, just threw my float out, trying to see what's out here. There's some really big, beautiful trout right in this little area. I'm doing really well, Cindy. Took a little time off from YouTube. Took a good month or so off. Refreshed, did some traveling, did a lot of my work. It's hit and miss. It gets really hectic in the spring and summertime. My gardening and my businesses. Own a few shops, and I have to go travel and do a lot of stuff. So give me a while. Get a little refresh. Took some time off of YouTube. Now I'm back. Plus, the fishing got a little stale, to be honest with you. This lake is really interesting. They stock it a lot. And so in a few of the areas, all I was catching was these little foot-long stalkers. I got tired of that. I got tired of just doing lives, catching the same old fish for y'all. Trying to figure out when the sun comes up. About 5 o'clock or so, it seems now. I have to leave about 4:15. No, Brian. Yeah, exactly, Cindy. You just got to reset. You know, it just helps. Just to kind of change your pattern. Yeah, it's really beautiful out here. Sun is just creeping up. Clay, hey. This is Lake Siskiyou. Here in a little town called Mount Shasta. Up here fishing for big trout. There's some serious trout right back here. Well, hello. Well, that's a tough one to try and pronounce. I'm so sorry. Trelio. Clay. Oh, yeah, Santa Rosa's beautiful, man. Santa Rosa's beautiful. I had family who lived down there for a while. So where I'm fishing right here, the river hits the lake right here. So it's the Sacramento River, and it jumps into the lake. So I get to use river fishing techniques in a lake, which is really cool. Back Mountain, yo, nice to see you guys. Took a little break, like I was telling Cindy. Now I'm back. The fishing was just stale. It really was. And I fish primarily for fish I'm trying to keep. And so if I only have a chance to catch 12, 10-inch fresh stock fish, it's just not very exciting for me. And after a while, I lose my motivation. Yeah, Washington is amazing, man. Washington is amazing. I'm from the Portland, Oregon area originally. It's where I spent the majority of my upbringing, if you will, was there. So I'm used to Washington. We had a beach cabin growing up by Long Beach, Washington. At the very end of Long Beach is a little town called Oysterville. There's a little nothingness. That's where we were. Amazing good memories of the beach cabin growing up. in Washington. Big family gatherings there. Long Beach was a blast. I like Washington. It's really beautiful. I was, like I said, born and raised in the Pacific Northwest. Got a little bit of web feet. It rains a lot up in that part of Oregon and Washington, but it's what makes it so green up there. Ooh, I just saw a nice little fish over there. Brian, we're about fishing here, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by, but I'm not sure what you're looking for, and you probably won't get it in this channel, my friend. So, trying to catch some really big, good fish and focus on that, buddy. Skeeter! I thought you caught a mermaid, Skeeter. There's none left. I thought I saw a Bigfoot when I got here, though. But it was actually just a hairy old hippie who was sleeping by his van. It wasn't Bigfoot after all. Sure looked like it, though. The fish have moved into this little area, and so I am doing my best to target them all. I just saw that little guy right over there. This lake gets really interesting. I've patterned it really well over the years, and it's hard to find the big holdover fish. You have to really hunt for them. You have to figure out where they are. The stock fish, they stock it here, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. Got a fish hatchery about a mile up the road, so they stock it here quite a lot. And to me, I don't enjoy it. I don't eat those little stock fish, and so they're kind of annoying when they just stock them. As soon as you throw your gear out, boom, you get a little 12-inch guy on the line, and I mean, it's all right, but it's not what I'm after. I'm after the 25-inch big beauty that's been here for a few years. That's got amazingly pink meat because it's been eating crawdads and everything else. So I have to hunt around. Yeah, Skeeter, I took a little break off, bud. I just needed a little YouTube refresh. Oh, Skeeter, you're the best. Yeah, I just had to take a little break, Buck. To me, I want to bring the best presentation I can to everybody when I do my YouTube. And I want to be in a good mood. I want to be feeling good. I want to have a positive attitude. I had to take a little time to regroup. I found myself getting into YouTube as work mode. And that's not for me. I love fishing, and it's an exciting thing, and it brings me a ton of joy. So that's what I wanted to show the world. I didn't want to show the world like the grind, and I'm going for it, man. I'm pushing it. Because that's not who I am. I'm a relaxed, chill, West Coast, take it easy kind of guy. That's how I fish, for the pure bliss and enjoyment. So I decided to switch it up, take a look at my priorities, ask myself, what does my YouTube channel mean to me? What's it for? Do I need to do 3 or 4 lives a week, try to build anything up? And I was like, just enjoy this community. I pop into your live a lot, Skeeter. I don't talk sometimes. I just pop in, watch. Sometimes I'm working a lot on my computer and doing other stuff, so I just have 3 or 4 different channels that bounce back and forth. But often I don't say anything. I'm one of them stalker types. I like your sense of humor. The way you tease Miss Skeeter, that shot you did where you was messing with her, you was bumping the backside of her fishing rod, and that had me cracking up like you wouldn't believe. Had me wishing I had somebody close like that I could tease, go bump back of their little fishing rod. That was hilarious, man. Did really well here yesterday. Fish finally moved into this back area. This is an ice clear entrance. Yeah, you know what I mean, Skeeter. So this one is like a crystal clear river entrance to this part of the lake. For about 100 yards, there's not a single obstruction out there besides rocks. There's no algae growing. There's no plants. There's nothing out there. There's really no twigs. So it takes kind of a different style fishing technique. The other end of this lake has the greenery, the dark colored water, and a whole lot of plant growth there. So there's a lot of bass in there, different fishing. I can fish bottom technique over there. Over here, this river gets incredibly active in the winter. And so it's a push zone. And so it pushes out a whole bunch of rock. So it's about 100, 200 yards of pure rock line bottom. Float is about the only thing I can do out here. But more importantly, I have to wait till the fish are here, because kind of like steelhead fishing, you're just wasting your time if the fish aren't in there. And these are actually steelhead sized fish. So these are big old holdover girls. I've seen some probably 25, 28-inch fish moving around out there. I caught 7 yesterday. Biggest being about a 20, maybe a 21-inch fish. But I saw his brothers out there, and I was like, I want them. I want your cousin. Come on, big fishes. I'm float fishing. Got a night crawler hanging down. Whole night crawler. Tried messing around with a few different presentations yesterday to see what would work, see what was getting me any kind of action. I found that a whole night crawler was where it was at. Bunch of people are out here fly fishing. Well, I got ready to leave yesterday. So, nice older gentleman came out. They said that on Friday there was a boat that just docked it, just anchored himself right here where I'm at, right in this current. Sat here fly fishing, and he was just slamming, just killing them on Friday. I was here maybe 2 weeks ago, and there was no fish here, so they hadn't moved in yet. And I was saying I got to pattern this place a lot. They stocked the other end really heavily. I took about 3 weeks off of fishing. Didn't do any fishing at all. It's got an old shoulder injury from snowboarding accidents, and it'll flare up on me sometimes, and it gives me a lot of problems. Fishing just gets a little difficult, reeling in and holding my pole up. So I took a few weeks off to heal the body, let the lake change over. We had that spring, end of winter, springtime kind of oh yeah, I can't wait to see it, bud. Skeeter. Gee, I'm in California. I'm in Northern California, extreme Northern California by the Oregon border. Just about an hour shy of the Oregon border. So this river that's feeding this lake right here, it's a cold glacier style river that stays cold in summer, just stays cold all year long. So we don't seem to have a problem catching trout. I watch people down there at Santa Ana Lakes. Their trout disappear and all that stuff, and I feel bad for Southern California fishermen, because you ain't catching no trout. Ooh, beautiful. I went to a place called Oxford Plains in Maine once. I was following the Grateful Dead around 1988, and that's where we ended up. A place called Oxford Plains. Boy, was it beautiful. Coming from Oregon, I've been raised in conifer forests. I'm just used to the evergreens. That's just what feels at home is that the kind of rolling mountains and beautiful pine trees and cedar trees. I traveled a lot that summer of '88, and it was really, I got homesick a lot. I just missed home, and the trees and everything were so different. When I finally got to Maine, was the first time I was like, oh, This Maine looks like Oregon. It was so beautiful. Really felt at home there. You know, I'd been in Ohio and Pennsylvania's and New York's and ooh, man, that is so beautiful. That's one fish. I've caught a handful of brooks, but I haven't eaten a really nice big brook. And so that's one that it's on my list. I'd like to. I had a buddy who said he used to catch them a long time ago, and they were some of the best eating fish. We had a lake just up from this. It's about 4 miles up, and they got a lot of little brooks in there. Oh man, yeah, I've seen a whole lot of cool videos on that. Watched a lot of weird things happen on that trail. Disappearances and you know, just weird conspiracy-based things. Oh man, gee, got me salivating. That sounds so good. California has a terrible, weird, strange rule to protect the brooks here. We can only keep brooks 10 inches or smaller. That's it. That's it. So I see a little 10-inch fish, and I don't think that's worth eating. I mean, it's a little skinny guy. It's got next to no meat on there. Why would I want to eat a 10-inch fish? So I have yet to keep a brook that I catch. Oh, that's really cool. The Pacific Crest Trail comes about 10 miles away from this town I'm in. And so over the last 5 years or so, I'd say a whole lot of places have popped up that are curtailing to that. They have these unique little hotels they've built, which has got small little hostel rooms, and they've made a handful of different shuttles and all these really cool things. Interesting about the brook. We can keep five rainbow or brown trout is not included in there, so you can keep another 5 on top of that. So you can keep 5 rainbow, 5 brown, but your brook trout would be considered part of your rainbow. So we are only allowed 10. Only allowed 10 in possession. So if you're camped out somewhere and you're fishing for 3 or 4 or 5 days or something like that here in the wilderness, and then you better process them and eat them, that kind of deal, because you're only allowed 10 in possession here. Someone was saying a while ago that they're protecting the big breeding brook trout here in California, so they only let us catch the little 10-inch or below. So I fish over in the Oregon coast a lot. It's about 3 or 4 hours from me. And we got the cutthroat over there. We got brookies. I don't see too many browns over there. Oh, how beautiful. That's amazing, G. I lived in Illinois for a while when I was still living with my father. I think I was 16 and 17 at that point. I was working at a metal shop, and it was just a small little nothing town in Illinois, and everyone was all about fishing, like you wouldn't believe. And so a lot of the employees, they'd bring all their fishing gear, they'd have their boat and everything like that with them. They'd be ready to leave right from work. And so they would just sit around and fart around during lunch break. They'd set a big giant coffee can up, 40 yards away. They'd sit there and try to cast their weight into it and things like that. It was like, boy, these boys just lived, eat, and breathed fishing. It was bass, that style fishing. Wow. We have a few protected areas right around us for German browns. We have the German brown strain of brown trout here. which the German brown have majority of red dots on them. There's only maybe sometimes 2 or 3 black dots on a German brown trout, where the regular European brown trouts are majority of black dots and a few red dots. Oh, that's really cool. That's the neat thing about the fishing community. You get to like just hear people, you know, what Skeeter's catching, what Bob's catching, and it's so many different fish. Different style of fish. I've never caught a walleye. I've never caught a carp. I've never caught a gar. I have caught catfish, bass, bluegill. I don't know if I've caught a crappie. I'm usually targeting things in the mackerel family, salmon, steelhead, trout, things like that. I really prefer to eat things that come from the mackerel family. Not as much of a bass, catfish eater. We got a river called the McCloud River. McCloud River is a very historic, unbelievably beautiful river. It's about 15 miles, 10 miles away. But, you know, as far as the driving time, it takes about half an hour to get there because the roads and stuff. But the McCloud was an amazingly beautiful, world-famous river 100 and some years ago. Thanks, Clay. And so they have a few areas that they've made like a wildlife preserve, and it's really a neat area. I haven't gone down there and fishing because it's primarily a fly fishing area, and so you have to have you know, reservations kind of deal. They only let 5 anglers on like a 2 to 3 mile section of the river. So there's very little pressure, very little other anglers in there. You know, each day is what they allow. They give away like 5 permits per day. And there's 36-inch plus German browns in there. It's all artificial. Oh, yeah. My aunt used to work at a restaurant up by what's called Bridge of the Gods, which is a bridge that crosses Oregon and Washington, and it's on the Pacific Crest Trail. And so she was a waitress at a little restaurant there. She would tell me stories about the hikers. And like, you know, that they just spent so much time out there doing their own thing, being in their own world, that a lot of them talk to themselves, and that's just what they're used to, because spending a month or so out there in isolation, I guess you just get used to talking to yourself and carrying outright conversations with yourself. And so she said that that she would be there working, and she'd, you know, think someone was trying to talk to her, asking her for, you know, more coffee or something like that, but it wasn't. That they were just carrying on full-blown conversations with themselves out loud, like a 2-person conversation. And so she said she really noticed that a lot with the Pacific Crest Trail people. If they were a single person who spent a lot of time by themselves, that really kind of changed their social behaviors. Nice, Mariessa. Yeah, I'm a big fish guy typically. I love salmon, steelhead fishing. Salmon fishing in California has been weird the last couple of years. It's been shut down. And so salmon, you know, we got a 4 to 5 year cycle from when they're here in the rivers. Their babies will come back 4 or 5 years later. 4 or 5 years ago in California, we had real bad droughts, and oh, that was a nice fish. Man, I saw that fish jump. That fish was big. I need to go out that part of the water. That was about 25-inch fish jumping. Catch his butt. So I really love doing the salmon steelhead fishing. A lot of my gear, a lot of my equipment's all set up for that. So I don't find myself too entertained catching the little 12-inch stocks. Doesn't do much for me. And then we have a lot of these wild creeks and rivers and streams. I can't get any live reception in those. I can never do lives for people. I take my GoPro up to those areas. But those are like serious small creeks and streams, and so the fish are some of the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. But you know, you'd be lucky to get a 13-inch fish, probably the biggest I've ever seen in these little creeks. But they're native trout that just have the most insane colors you'd ever seen. Oh, see a duck, or is that the river otter? It's a duck. Now I'm just trying to figure out where the fish are. I was here yesterday early morning too, and it was a slow action. Then all of a sudden it just picked up. It was like the fish came out of nowhere. That's what I notice here, is that the trout like cold water that's highly oxygenated. And so fresh inlets tend to be gathering spots for trout. Oh, that was a nice fish jumping out there. No, that is that river otter. That is a river otter. I can see him swimming now. Those are all the river otters over there. Yeah. We got a group of river otters out here playing around. I thought it was a bird peeking up, but that's river otter. Let's see if I can get them to you. They're right in the middle of the camera, but it's a little far out there. There's 3 otters out there just having a blast. They showed up about 2 years ago. I've been fishing this lake serious for about 6 years now. Yeah, you can see the little otter. Oh, he's coming this way, baby. You're going to scare all the fish. I ain't catching nobody with you 3 out there hunting. Yeah, you 3. You 3. No wonder I got nothing going on. Yeah, appreciate you 3, but you guys are going to scare away all my fish. Oh, yeah. There's like this golden trout in California, in like southern Sierra, you know, south of Yosemite and stuff like that. Oh, he got a fish. You got a fish. I seen that. That was my fish. The otter out there is taking my fish. That's my fish. That's my fish. Bad otter. Taking my fish. Yeah, it was beautiful watching those otters come in. There's a small little dam here blocking this thing up. It's more like a reservoir. It's called a lake, but it's not a hydroelectric dam. It's just a dam. And it's the Sacramento River. So the release from the dam is the Sacramento River. And so when we had our droughts going on years ago, they definitely wanted a lot more water down there in the south, heading towards Redding. So this lake would get really low. But I assume that these beautiful otters came up from down there. That they were just out somewhere looking for new territory. And all of a sudden, you know, I've seen the North American mink here a bunch. You know, he'll come up and mess with you and try and steal fish off your stringer. But we didn't have the otter here. And all of a sudden, about 2 years ago, I saw one. He might have been a scout. Left his mate or something like that, looking for new territory. But also, I saw just the one. And then about 6 months later, I saw him around with the mate. And I was like, oh, cool. Now I see multiples. That was a little group of 3. When I fished the Chetco River up in Southern Oregon, there's a group of like 7 or so. And they're just great, man. River otters, they'll wake up early morning about this time. I see them come out of their little, somewhere up on the hillside. They have a den or something like that. Yeah, Shasta is back up to normal. It was so weird seeing it so low for so long. I mean, it was 40 feet below, 60 feet below at times. But yeah, it's all back up to normal. Everything is pretty much at normal reservoir or full filled in capacity for most of the lakes and reservoirs and things around here. Well, good. Those otters moved on. I wasn't going to catch anything if they were going to stay around and hunt. The otters are pretty intense hunters. They'll scare the heck out of the fish. When we have this pack of mallards, they'll give, the ducks will have babies in the spring, and it seems like a couple, two or three groups of babies will come together and form like this interesting pack of ducks, and then they go out hunting. So you'll be there fishing, and all of a sudden, that was a big fish jumped. All of a sudden, there'll be 7 or 8 of these little ducks that come in, and they hunt in like a pack. It's really interesting to watch. And so they'll be all underwater, diving like crazy to try to get any fish that's down there. And some of the ducks will scare some of the fish right into the other ducks. And you're like, oh. So those guys make it tough, man. I like all wildlife, but like when they come in, I'm like, I'm not going to catch nothing with all you guys here. They startle the heck out of every fish around. Everything just splits. It knows it's about to be caught. All right, might be time for a new worm. I think this guy's getting a little old. He's lost his mojo. That worm has lost his mojo. Oh, come on, big fish. Gotta find the big fish. They're out there. I'd rather spend a while trying to catch 1 or 2 amazing fish than go to the part of this lake that's just full of them stalkers, where I can throw it out instantly with power bait and I got a fish on in like 10 seconds. Freshly stocked fish that's only been eating pellets its whole life, full of weird hormones and stuff in him. No, thank you. It's fun if you just haven't caught a fish. Yo, Biggie! Took some time off. My hiatus is over. I was telling people earlier I just need a little break. Took about a month off from doing lives. Had to reset, man. Reset. Feels good. I was telling people earlier, I found myself just not in the, found that it was becoming like work. And that's not me, man. I love to do everything I can with a beautiful attitude, full of exuberance and enthusiasm. And I was finding myself trying to keep a schedule because that's what the algorithm or that's what growth would get for me. And it was like Real was saying the other day, man, that was a heck of a good interview. But if you're chasing the bag instead of let the bag chase you, bro, big difference. And I started switching my mentality, and I was starting to chase the bag. And then I was feeling the stress in my body. It was hurting, was not liking it. And so I listened to myself, and it was like, hey, you need to reevaluate. What's your channel about? What you doing? What you want to bring to the world? Because, I help run 2-3 companies. Oh, that was a great interview, man. I was so happy to catch it. I think I clicked on notifications once or twice for some of your other ones. And timing would mess off. I'm a big sports guy, and it's NBA playoffs right now. So some Sundays got kind of hectic, and there was, when the playoffs start, we got 4 games on in a day. So yeah, little time off helped. I have an old injury too in my shoulder from snowboarding incidents, and it kind of was flaring up on me. So I took about 3 weeks off of fishing too. Just had to take a little break. It's probably the longest break I've taken fishing in a while. Plus, I was getting tired of catching the little stalkers, like I was saying, and I had to find out where I could catch some good big fish for everybody. Caught some sweet monsters right here yesterday. A little bit later. I'm an early morning guy, so I'm used to getting up. I like to get fishing out here and beat everybody. There's this is a tourist town. This is a tourist fishing destination, and so it can get bad. It can get crowded here in the summers. So I don't enjoy fishing around 50 other people. It's just not my vibe. Yeah, man, fishing, that'd be great, buddy. I'll email you and give you my contact stuff. That'd be fun. After watching you guys seeing what you're doing, it's like, heck yeah, that's really sweet, man. That was great listening to Rio, man. Such a stand-up guy, man. Was really, really impressed. I was like, wow, Rio, you're a good gentleman. I saw a video he did a while back. Sweet, will do, fishy. And Rio was talking about giving away some a fishing rod and reel to this younger gentleman, young boy. And I was so proud, man. I sent him back some great compliments, congratulating him for shaping the youth. And then watching the interview you did with him, now I understand more about his mission in life and his philosophy. It was just beautiful, man. Come on, big fishes. I always remind myself that every day fishing is a little bit different. Come in with the same mindset that you had from yesterday. It just doesn't always work. You can come in and you can, throw stuff like I've been doing, throwing it right back in the same spot. I was just slamming them yesterday, but I'm getting nothing. So it's what I've noticed a few times. I've gone out to this lake to try to figure out where the fish are and what they're biting on. I'm like, cool, I'll go out in the evening and then I'll go live the next morning. And then the fish just don't have the same attitude. It's like, nah, we're cool. We're cool with all that. I've said it a few times. This is an area where either the fish are or they are not. And so I have to be patient. I'll come out here, once every few weeks, and I just look around and I test it, and I see who's boiling, who's jumping. If I don't see any action, then I'm like, nope, it's just simply a waste of time. It's like steelhead fishing in river. If they're not there, then it doesn't matter how great your presentation is. Doesn't matter how great your technique is. There's no fish to catch. So I come out here, test it. I was out here a few weeks ago, and then there was nothing. Then I came out here on Sunday. It was slamming, man. I was like, oh, there's big fish here again. Some fly fishermen were here yesterday. But they showed up about 8 o'clock. They said that there was a boat that anchored himself right here on Friday. And he was fly fishing. Anchored right about where you guys are looking at. They said he would just slam them, just nonstop. So it seemed like the big boys have all moved back in here. It's a freshwater inlet, bringing a ton of real cold water in. So it's highly oxygenated. That's what the trout want. And it's bringing in a food source. So it's double bubble for them. Yeah, it really is pretty here. river is something. It's wild. It's like, it's the start of just some serious, probably like 40 miles of pure wilderness, basically. Pacific Crest Trail is back up that way where this river comes from. So you can drive up there and it starts going up pretty good. It's a decent road, but it just gets into the wilderness, just the bush out that way. And eventually it heads towards the coast. But you got to drop up and over into a valley. Then you got to drop up and over another mountain range into another valley, and then up another one, and then there's the coast. Still cold, about 45 degrees out. It was like 10 degrees warmer yesterday right here. I woke up and I was like, it's 53 out yesterday? And I couldn't believe it. Like normal, it's like last night got down to 40. So when I got up at 4 o'clock, I was starting to get my stuff together. It was 41 degrees out. Man, congrats on hitting that 1,000, Fishy. Proud of you, brother. You rocked it. Putting the time in. It's great watching everybody grow. Thunderstruck has been growing like crazy. You know, I remember looking down at Anyfin Is Possible. He had like 4,000 subs, and Thunderstruck was having his I'm about to get 1,000 sub celebration, and I was like, okay, so he's about to hit 1,000, and Bob's at 4, and I think Bob just hit 5, and I think Thunder might be over 5 now. I mean, it's just been incredible to watch the growth from him, and I know Bob puts all that time and effort in too. I noticed that Bob switched. He had a horizontal view for a long time. Vertical, whatever it is he uses now, the normal one, the phone one, so it can be used on shorts and other feeds. I noticed when I first started watching him, it was always the other one, and he would comment that, yeah, you can get more new growth on the vertical versus horizontal. Oh yeah, no worries, Fishy. Yep, and I know you're going to go live here in a bit too. My buddy Andrew with Fishy Things Redmond, Oregon. He's going to go live as well. He's a couple hours from me. Him and I are collaborating about doing some fishing together. He does usually his lives on Monday. So a lot of times I'll bail out of your live when he gets going. He doesn't always have a lot of traffic in his lives, so I'll just hang out. Plus, being an Oregonian, that's my stomping grounds. You know where he's at, and I know all the places. I lived in the same town he's in. My second child was born there in Redmond, Oregon, and so that's the cool thing about the fishing community, man. You know, you start connecting with people. Like I've noticed you connecting with Shannon at Southwest. You start connecting with these people that are close to you, and it's like, oh man, there's potential for actually doing something together. Not, like when you guys talk about, getting together with chaos and stuff like that. I'd love that, but that's so far away from me that I honestly don't know if I would ever be able to pull it off. It'd be as fun as I could imagine, but realistically, could I afford it? Could I take that much time off? All would probably be all a bunch of no's. But I could swing, a little trip up to Oregon to go fishing. There's like these little halfway points between me and Dave Fishy Redmond that I've been wanting to fish, and I've been telling him about. Now he's looking at them and going, "Oh yeah, that's a great place to fish." And then he tells me all about these cool places that he fishes up on the Columbia. And as you well know, a large part of fishing is knowing those little spots. Because you get to know a body of water, you know that, like, well, during this time of month, there's just no fish there. Like this lake has about 6 or 8 bank fishing access points. 2 or 3 of them are real good fishing. The other one is they're all just simply a waste of time. You will not be getting a single fish there. When I first learned to fish this lake, I went to all kinds of weird spots. Yeah, I think Fishing Things was doing things, Skeeter. He said he's got to help take the child to school and stuff like that. So he may not have noticed. He said hi. But yeah. So when I get to talking with people that know particular parts of a river and when the salmon and when the steelhead come in, it's like, oh, that's exciting to know, because like me, I know the Klamath River up by me, and I know what by the 2 or 3 week period when the salmon come through. Oh, thanks, Mary. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hoping to get some big ones here. Been a slow morning, but it was a slow morning yesterday. Picked up a little bit later. So yeah, man, it's indispensable when you get to work with people who know that body of water. Man, it can make or break your whole experience. So, talking with Stay Fishy Redmond, he was he lived in Washington up by the Columbia, and so he knows like some of these cool spots and times of years. He may not be able to make them, but there's one in around Father's Day. He was saying in June when the spring salmon are there like crazy. You're gonna sit out there. We do this thing called plunking out here in the Pacific Northwest, which is just a bottom fishing with a thing called spinning glow, and the spinning glow is an interesting piece of equipment made by Yakima Bait Company, and it just, it's hard to describe what it looks like. It looks like a little baby torpedo, and it's got little wings on it. It looks like one of those little fireworks you would light on the ground, and it would spin and go up into the air. Whoop, one of those little guys. That's what it looks like. It's got this little torpedo-shaped tube with 2 little wings on it, 2 little plastic wings, and when it sits in a current, it just spins. Brrr, goes around and around and around and around. So it's really an eye catcher. And that thing alone will catch fish. You don't actually have to use bait. But a lot of times what we do is we run some eggs or something like that behind it. And so as these salmon or steelhead are coming up river, they see this thing spinning. And they're like, what the heck is that thing? It's making noise. It's like under the water because those wings, that thing is just moving. You got to use these weird type of swivels called a bead chain. And it really keeps your line from getting tangled up, because just normal swivels can't handle the amount of twist that's going on with these things, man. Still, you wouldn't believe how twisted up, tangled up it gets. Oh, that's a nice fish out there. Oh, my bait. Let's head right towards him. Come on. Come and get it, big boy. So yeah, I don't think I've caught any fish plunking. I've tried plunking. It's an interesting thing. I'm kind of newer to it. I've only done it for a couple years now. And fishing Ray, hey. It's not necessarily my go-to method. I kind of like interactive fishing more than I like just throwing your line out and sitting and waiting. I really prefer to be throwing a spinner. I got a giant float on right now. I'm floating a night crawler. I float a night crawler out in the river, and then it goes out to the lake. I like river fishing techniques. Keeps you interactive, keeps you focused. Trying to figure out how to do it live has been an interesting one. If the chat's flying, then it's challenging. Because I have to look at my bobber every few seconds. Come on, big fish. Where are the big fish? I need a big fish, big fish, big fish. I want to catch one of these like 28 inchers. I want to catch one of the ones that makes me have to fight him for like 20 minutes. Oh, that would be great. I got some amazing GoPro footage yesterday. Got about a 19-minute video I'm posting. I have the world's worst internet here. It's just terrible, man. I mean, it is bad. So I think I started uploading that puppy last night about 9 o'clock. I woke up this morning at 4, and I was 60% done. And I was like, wow. It's going to take like 14 hours to upload that video. My internet is that slow. I do it on my desktop. I need to just figure out, maybe get all the software and everything like that over to my laptop, and then I can go to my company, and we have a business internet that we pay for that gives us a lot of guaranteed connectivity. The way our town is designed, it's just garbage. Everything flows into this AT&T portal. They got this internet hub, and then it branches out from there to like 4 other companies that provide internet service, but they all use the same lines that the AT&T does. So it kind of like bottlenecks. So when you got busy times, like a Sunday evening or something like that, a sports Super Bowl's on or something like that, it'll just get bad. So all of a sudden there's like no availability because everybody in town's using the internet, and it all bottlenecks, goes to the same place. So it really doesn't matter. You can't switch. There's no better provider. Tried switching to the 2 or 3 different companies that are around, and it's all the same stuff. So you just learn. I mean, it's the trade-offs of small town living. You get the beauty, I get the serenity, the serene scenery. And like we have some of the best drinking water, some of the best air. This is incredibly fresh, beautiful, mountain crisp air here. Typically, every human consumes 2 pounds of water a day and 6 pounds of food a day. And so that equals 8 pounds between the food and water that you consume every day. But when you breathe, you take in 10 pounds of oxygen every day. 10 pounds of oxygen every day versus 8 pounds of food and water. So air is actually very important. It's more important than the 2 other elements. The quality of the air you breathe is very important for your life. So somewhere where I live, we got beautiful mountain fresh air, and it's just incredible. You wake up and it's just like, oh, it's refreshing to be here. But you got to trade-offs. You don't have a lot of nightlife. Technological things like internet and fast 5G, blah, blah, blahs just aren't really here. But the way I always look at it is you have what's called quality of life. The hustle's the hustle. You have to figure out how to work and earn and pay for your bills, pay for your living, no matter where you are. Whether it's California, Connecticut, Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. The hustle's the hustle. So it all depends on where you're happy. Do you like the climate you're in? Do you like the people around you? Do you like the nature, or the city life? Whatever makes you tick. That should really be, the way you view life is like, am I happiest here? Am I thriving in this environment? Because you find a way to take care of yourself no matter where you are. The quality of life, that's what it comes down to. I like the chance to catch these kind of fish. I like to eat these kind of fish. I don't know. I heard walleye sounds pretty good. I listened to you guys talk about it yesterday, Fishy. I'd try walleye. I was not a big fan of catfish and bass and some of those. Just not really my style fish. Had to bread them up, and then yo, saving grace. End up being like fried chicken. I ended up cooking them that way with breading and fried butter or something like that, and the outside just has that fried chicken-esque-ness to it. So it's like, same with like sturgeon. You have to kind of dress it up, make little nuggets and stuff like that. And then it's something that you eat, but I don't find myself craving it. I don't go, oh boy, I'd love to have some of that, blah, 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 for dinner. But like salmon, steelhead, really nice trout, that's pink meat, and that stuff I kind of do crave. My body will be like, oh, I would like that right now. With some asparagus or a big artichoke. Oh, mahi-mahi's good. Now that is good. I do like that. I don't think I've had a pompano. I can't ever say I've eaten that fish. I would like to try that, though. Mahi-mahis are good. The albacores are good. I don't really like halibut. I don't like cod. I'll eat them. I can eat them, but it's like you're dipping them in all kinds of whatever, tartar sauces and all this other stuff, all that breading that's on there, and it's good. Speckled trout. I may not have ever had that one. I haven't had brook trout. I've never cooked brook trout yet. Speckled trout. I'll have to look that one up. I catch so many trout every year that I get really snobbish about it. I really like serious pink meat. The white meat ones just don't do it for me. I make my own plant nutrients. I have a big farm, mini farm, massive garden. I keep expanding it, but I've got about a quarter acre of farm right now. I got 3 acres of land, but about a quarter of acre of it is all farm right now, and I got the plans of expanding it to double it, basically. So interesting. Yeah, because like tunas get like that. The big, thick cut. It's all red, and it cooks like a steak and stuff like that. And it's a lot different. So, they call them tuna steaks a lot of times. The ahi, I think. Yeah, I'm not as well versed on eating a lot of different fish. Matthew! Hey. So nice to see y'all. Took a few weeks off. Had to recoup. Traveled a lot for my business. I take care of the rocks and the stones for my business. So I go gather them. I go on about 4 or 5 big pilgrimages each year, different parts of the U.S. And I'll, you know what I'm talking about then, Grace. And so I go out and I collect things. And so I was in Utah, out in Nevada and Utah collecting for a week or so. And then after I bring 800,000 pounds of stones back, I got to start dealing with them and processing them. cleaning them up, prepping them up, seeing what machines they're going to go into. I have tumblers, I have lapidary, I have like a vibratory laps, I have sphere maker machines, I have the cabochons, I have bead making equipment, drilling equipment for stones and beads. So it's this whole long segregational process. After I bring home everything, it takes about a week to organize it all and see where it's going to go. Is it going to go into specimen categories? Is it going to go into jewelry making stuff? Is it things that we're going to have to turn into palm stones and cabochons and all that good stuff? So that was fun. I get out to the deserts and those regions before it gets too hot. Oh, come on, fishies, come on in. When the weather warms up like it's really been doing now, and the water temperature warms up in the lake, we find that the trout like to congregate in these cold water inlets. There's two main sections that feed this lake. This one is an eastern. No, this one is a western. It's the biggest inlet, fast-moving, serious river, and so it's really clear. Not a lot of plant growth on the bottom here, and so it's a whole. You got to use different fishing techniques here. Can't do any bottom fishing because it's so bad here. You'll lose your gear. I've probably lost 40 things on the bottom. I've tried every known weight that I can come up with, and it just doesn't work. Fishing with flames! Hey, hey, hey! I see you. Boom, there you go, flames. There you blue. Oh, nice. I went to Las Vegas in '93. I was going there to see the Grateful Dead. Sting was the opening band. It was 3 days at the Sam Boyd Silver Bowl. And it was great seeing the Grateful Dead there then. But it was so interesting walking in Caesar's Palace and these places like that we were staying, seeing all these sea of tie-dyes hanging out there. I'd been to Vegas and stuff like that a handful of times, and it was just normal crowds. But that weekend, the Dead was there. Oh, it was so cool, man. So interesting seeing all that sea of tie-dyes in the casino. It was quite a contrast. Beer! Hey, man! Hey, hey! Trying to catch these big slammies, man. I was catching them here yesterday. Caught 7 big trout, but I caught them about a half hour from now. I couldn't get them to bite early. So I don't know, maybe they're still sitting out in the little bit deeper water, and they'll move in here in a few minutes. Oh man, they're big fish though. I've been watching them jump about 100 yards out there, hoping that they'll keep making their way in. Since they like this cold water inlet, highly oxygenated, and it's cold water for them, they bounce up in here and got about 100 yards of this lake straight out in front where you guys are looking at, where it's not very deep. It's 4 to 7 feet probably at max. And so the big fish love it over here in certain times of the year. I was sitting here just like this fishing, float fishing, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years now. And I saw some of the biggest fish I've ever seen in this lake come around. All of a sudden, I was seeing stuffed crest, and I thought they looked like salmon. They were so big. They looked like a watermelon was coming up out of the water. You were seeing this thing crest, and you're like, oh, that's a foot across. That's a 3 foot plus fish. And you're like, no. And so I had a bobber, like I'm doing now, bobber fishing. I threw it out. I saw the one fish coming right towards it. And I'm like, oh. My bobber goes down. I go to set that thing, snap that line like it was butter. I had real intense line on. Probably had a 10-pound line on. So it was a big fish. I was unable to get any more hits. That was my one shot. I talked to an older cat from here. I'm trying to fix my line right now, guys. I got a little knot in it. Talked to this older guy who fishes here a lot. He thought it was the pod of big browns. And I told him that. He was like, oh, yeah, I've seen that once or twice before. It's like you get this big pod of these humongous browns. And they were huge fish, man. I mean, I go to these rivers and fish for salmon. And I fish the kings and the Chinooks. And so when those salmon are migrating up, 50 fish at a time will come up. And they'll boil, you know, they'll as they're booking up river, you'll see them. And so you're talking, you know, 4 foot, 3 to 4 plus foot fish, you know, 10, 12 inches across. And that's what these fish look like here. They look like the salmon that I'm used to seeing when I'm river fishing. I was just blown away. I was like, whoa. You can go on and I can look at the records here, and there's like a 27-pound rainbow, some 23s and 24-pound rainbows have been caught here. So I know there's this massive big fish in here. I just that was the first time I saw him. So that's what this thing has the potential for. This little spot back here is one of those that when the big fish just pop up out of nowhere, you can get yourself a personal best. I could have went to the other entrance and I'd probably catch 10 fish by now of all them little fresh little stalkers. I'm cut from the cloth, the steelhead fisherman. I'd rather spend the whole day trying to catch one big steelhead than 2 hours catching, you know, endless little stalkers. You got some serious challenge in catching the big fish, and then you get that reward that comes from it. Anytime, you know, you do something that takes a lot of effort, that requires the best of you. You know, you're building something and you know, you put a lot of time and effort into it and you make something amazing, then you're like, wow, the satisfaction you get is incredible. If you do something that's just takes 10 minutes, doesn't take much out of you, you'll get about 10 minutes worth of satisfaction out of it. So that's what I've noticed. Fishing's a similar way. If I put a lot of time and effort into something because there's a big reward possible, and you finally get lucky and you get that reward, it's amazing. Come on, fishing. Yeah, I was fishing here yesterday and I was throwing out all kinds of stuff and I was getting all kinds of nothing. And just out of nowhere, bam, 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 I started catching them. So I'm hoping for a similar reality today where they were out maybe a little deeper. Steelhead, you know, are the type of fish that tend to get a little bit more active around 10 a.m. or so. A lot of the guides that are diehard steelhead guides, that's when it starts. You know, they take off, start floating down the river about 10. So, you know, if you got to listen to the people who know what they're doing, who are out here actually putting the time in. And so I started noticing that. I'd get up, be there at the crack of dawn, and sometimes just wouldn't have any luck. All of a sudden, 3 hours later or so, that 10 o'clock window starts slamming them. Regular trout, rainbows, browns, things like that. I noticed that they love their early morning. They really do. Like, you know, first light. They're just all about that. It's like, yeah, they can't wait for it. And so the fish I'm getting here are a little bit more of a steelhead type of fish. I don't think they have the steelhead genetics in them. They're not migratory ocean-bound fish. I'm not positive, though, to be honest with you. I haven't researched. I thought it was McLeod, red band, but I could be wrong. Watching Stay Fishy Redmond, Oregon. He fishes a little place up in Prineville, and they have this hybrid fish that's half rainbow, half steelhead, little strainbow. And he said, you know, those fish I notice that he's catching will often exhibit similar behavior of steelhead. You know, he gets out there a little bit later, and you know, he finds that 11 o'clock or so, he can get a lot of action. And so I'm like, huh. I think it's, my guess is it has to do with the fact that they're half steelhead, or they were, you know, steelhead was used in the breeding. I always have to remind myself, no 2 days of fishing are the same. I thought about that as like a fishing channel. No 2 days of fishing are the same. Because it really is true. I have to force myself to blank my mind from what worked last time. And you come at it with a fresh mindset of attack, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw out all the different baits that I have and different techniques, if you want to use it like that. Say I'm steelhead fishing. I'm going to throw out some beads. I'm going to float some worms. I may have some spawn on there. I may even try shrimp. Going to see what works. And then all of a sudden, you know, let's say you're steelhead fishing and you got jigs or you got spinners. And then you're like, oh, I got 5 colors of spinners and I got 10 style of jigs. Is it the red and black? Is it a purple and white jig? Is it a yellow and green jig that's working? What's going to work today? So that's what I notice really helps. Reel! Morning, buddy. Good morning, Reel. That was a great interview you did with Fishy, man. That was a great interview. It was really wonderful to learn a little bit more about you. You're a real stand-up man, Reel. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you're offering to the youth of this world. World needs more people like you in it, Reel. This would be a much better place if there was more people like you. Come on, big fishes. I'm waiting for the big fishy to come. Big fishies. Had my regular trout steelhead float that's 3/8 of an ounce, which is fairly decent. It's a fixed float, so I just slide it up and down on the line to adjust it where I want. And but man, I have to go so far out that I lose track of it. I can't watch it, and so I had to switch. I had to switch to my salmon steelhead gear. So I got a 1 ounce float, which is a big float. 1 ounce weight on there. Got my 7'6" twitching rod. We do a little thing here called twitching I see it. It's used for spring. It's used for the coho salmon. Really love it. Steelhead. We'll do pretty well on it. And summer and winter steelhead bite different. So the winter steelhead we'll take those jigs, the twitching jigs, but the summer not as much. And so twitching jig is basically a big old jig, 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 and 1 ounce jigs. And they're a big old girl, big old ball, lead ball on the end that's been painted, and the fur on there. And you throw them out. You're in a river, so you kind of act like a spinner. You throw up just a little bit. You throw from your 10 to 2 kind of reality, and you let it do that pendulum swing like a spinner likes to do. But with the twitching jig, you're moving up, and then it's dropping down. And just when it about hits the bottom, you want to pull it back up, and then it drops back down. And it's imitating some kind of wounded critter, some kind of little bait fish, sculpin, that kind of deal that's having a hard time making it. And so you're pulling it up, and then it drops down and pulls up, but you don't ever really want to let that puppy hit the bottom. If your twitching jig hits the bottom, then that's probably the end of your twitching jig. Because it's so heavy, it'll just drop right down in between boulders, and then that's it. So it's quite the workout on the body. And you're throwing it up there, and you're constantly lifting your rod and dropping it. You lift it up, then you reel as your rod's going down. You lift it up, and you reel as your rod's going down. You lift it up, and you reel. And so if you're throwing a 1 ounce because you got like a 10-foot deep, fast-moving river, and you need the weight to pull itself through that river, man, do you have a workout. You do that for like an hour, woo, you are going to feel it. And so some of the guys that I've learned from, they found that this style rod here, the 7'6", made for a much easier reality when it came to twitching. You tried using your 11-foot rods, your 10'6", your 9'9" rods or whatever, and you tried doing that twitching all day. Oh, got a fish, guys. We got us a fish. We got us a fish. We got us a fish, and he's pulling. Oh, this is a big fish, guys. This is a no joke fish. Oh man, this fish is just locking down in the current. This is doing what a salmon does. Oh man, this fish is not messing with me, guys. Oh man, am I happy. Oh, it's a beautiful fish, guys. This thing is just locked in the current. Oh, we got a big fish, fishy, big fish, man. This thing is pulling, bro. This thing it's got some weight. May not be the biggest, I don't know, but it's just giving me some tood. It's giving me some tood. No, it's a nice fish, man. Oh, whoa, there it goes. It does not want to go. Does not. Oh, look at that. It's pulling drag. There goes 10, 20 feet of drag. 10, 20 feet of drag. 10, 20 feet of drag pulling. Oh man, this guy's just pulling. Oh, there goes that drag. There goes that drag. Holy moly, guys. Oh, what a fish. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Oh my gosh. Come on, big fish. Come on. Oh, big fish. Come on, big fish. Come on, biggie. Come on, big onionitis. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, this is like a steely here, man. This is a serious. Oh, this is a steelhead here, guys. Holy beautiful. Wow. That's how it's done, son. Oh, come on, big boy. You're not tired yet? Holy moly, guys. Holy gee moly, everybody. Oh, tail flapping. Super slapping. Yes, fish is in. Holy biggest fish. Holy giant. Massive fish. Massive fish. Massive fish. Yes. Yes. Thank you, fish. Thank you, fish. Thank you, fish. Thank you, thank you, thank you, fish. Oh, yes, fish. You're going home with me, fish. Wow, that's a big freaking beauty. Oh, I know, my friend. Thank you. Let's go show everybody yourself. Let's go show everybody. Oh, what fish! Oh, yes. Oh, you guys see the fish? Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. 22-inch probably? 22-inch beauty that fought like you wouldn't believe. Whoa! Sorry, I'm not on the chat, but I got to take care of fish. Oh, what a little steely. What a little steely. What a little steely he was. Woo! Nice fish. Nice fish. Yes. Caught big fish. Woo! Yes, I'm back. Woohoo! Yeah, looks like a big boy. Oh, yes, I am. All right, all right, all right. Woo, way to go. All right. Man, that was a nice fish. That thing fought like crazy. Oh, what a fight. What a fight. That's going to make some good food there, buddy. That's my kind of fish. Yes. Wow, he fought like crazy. So I'd rather have that than 10 of those stalkers. I'd rather be able to get one amazing fish than 10. 10 to 1, no problem, any day. Sweet. So glad I was able to catch one of the big ones for everybody. Sweet. You guys got to see it. Super cool. Get another one. Let's get her done. Get her done, son. Let's get her done. Heck yes. Big fishy time. Man, that thing fought. That thing was not about giving up easy. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, that was fun. That's what it's all about for me. Yeah. Bobber down and fish was on. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, that was a nice fish. One about twice that size would be nice. That guy locked himself in the current. He wasn't easy to move, man. I got some serious gear on this line. I got 30-pound main line. I got 20-pound bumper going down to my float. And from a float, I got a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. So they would have to like do a lot to break my line. He wasn't hooked that good though. Wouldn't have took much more for him to just rip his lip right off, and then he would have been a free man. Oh, I'm dangling a full worm on this one. Full worm. Come on, let's get her done. Let's get her done. Trying to see if I can get you guys out where the bobber down likes to happen. Yeah, it's my style of fishing. I'd rather do that, you know. Got tired of the same old stocked fish that I was attempting to catch in my lives. You probably know how it is fishy when it's just like, you're like, oh, that's all I got. It's the same old stuff. It's all, I'm pretty much guaranteed to catch the same blah, blah, blah. After a while, it kind of loses a little bit of its enthusiasm when you want to catch something different, unique, fun for the people to watch, not the same old, same old. That's why I had to wait for the lake to change over. The springtime, end of winter flow had a certain energy, and the water starting to warm up, so it kind of had a different activity with the fish. And now that it's warmed up a little bit, they're more over here in the cold water inlets. This is the part that I was telling you about that's like so invaluable, because like someone like myself, I know right where. If you were visiting this weekend or something, say fishy, then I could take you. I'd be like, all right, I don't know exactly where to go, what presentation to use, and there'll be a good chance that you catch fish. I've never caught a big carp, so I don't know. I listened to anything, and he said that, you know, he thinks that they're the best fighting freshwater fish of all freshwater, and he catches salmon and steelhead. And so he's a salmon steelhead guy from Alaska. I'm like, are you serious? The carp is the best fighting freshwater fish? That made me maybe change my opinion on him, I guess. So I was like, really? I thought, you know, I never see you guys go through like a 10 or 15 minute drag experience where that fish is like just tearing out of there and like, oh my God, it tires you guys out. Sometimes it takes us half hour to get one of these salmons in. And so I don't usually see that with carp. You guys are usually, bam, that puppy hits, nails your pole, you don't got to set it, and then you just kind of reel that big old lugster in. So I probably have misjudged the action that you would get from a carp. That's cool, Pierre. I did not know that. I've never caught one. So, because I mean, the salmon, like the real big trout and steelhead, they jump up out of the water. They're flip flopping. They're acrobats. They're doing everything they can to break the line. The steelhead, especially, they like to do this side to side head swing. Interesting. Now sturgeon just looks like it'd be a big old heavy. You just like pull. It's like accidentally grabbing a kitchen sink in the bottom of the lake, and you gotta like a heavy job to pull that big old lugger in. But I guess sturgeon really do fight. But like everyone I know who's caught the big sturgeon, it's sometimes an hour-long journey to get them in, and like the salmon, it takes a good half hour. Wow, sturgeon jumping everything. That's really cool. See, I've never caught a sturgeon, so I have no clue. Oh, the sun just peeked up over that hill. Sturgeon? You caught a sturgeon yesterday? I saw you catch that carp. I got the winning guess on that carp. I was 27. Yeah, it looked like you were having a hard time getting over the wall. Wow. Wow, fishy, that's amazing. My friend was in a boat that was kind of small, a little 18 footer, and he said he was in the Columbia River fishing, and about a 14-foot sturgeon came up, bumped his boat. He said the fish was about almost as big as his whole boat. He said it was rather scary. I was like, wow. So I'm used to these Columbia River sturgeons, and I know the sturgeons you guys can get out there seem to be a little smaller. But I imagine still, nonetheless, they're still like a big old fighting beast. It's a weird looking fish, that dinosaur fish. Really old, ancient, trippy looking dude. Wow, man. Wow. And you're not a teeny guy either. You look like, if I had to guess, I'd say you're maybe 6'2", fishy. So you don't look like you're like the littlest of guys. So I mean, wow, that was a powerful fish. £200. Okay, so you guys don't like. I've heard of 12-foot. I don't know what that probably equal out, maybe like a 400-pounder or something like that. I think the maximum, I think the records that they've gotten at Columbia River is 24-footers. You got this dam, this Bonneville Dam, and they got a fish watching area, fish viewing. Okay, I couldn't tell. I was like, yeah, you might be 6'2" or so. Trying to get my trout filleting techniques up to par. Pretty good at filleting salmon, steelhead, some of the bigger fish, but the littler fish, I'm just not hadn't quite got the best skill yet. This bobber might be twitching. Just moving in the current. Yeah. Let's see, by now, I see 3 boats out on the water. I can see about 3 different spots where people are bank fishing over here. Yeah, when I started learning a little bit about filleting trout and stuff, I was like, man, I was wasting too much meat. I was tired of it. I don't like to waste when it comes to that. If I catch and take the life of a critter, I prefer to try and use it all. And so my skills just weren't that great. And I was like, man, I'm wasting so much meat doing this. Trying to improve my technique. I get tired of the bones that are in trout. Yeah, same here. Same here. I have, being Lakota, Native American is the biggest bloodline that I have, about 40-some%. So I'm really connected to nature and a lot of things that you would consider Native American people being connected to in life. Just always been my thing. And the red-tailed hawk has been one of my buddies, one of my little spirit allies, you might want to call it. And the red-tailed hawk is interesting. They will change, and the color of his feathers change in the winter, and the colors of his feather change in the summer. And in the summer, he puts on his real bright, showy red feathers. In the winter, he becomes kind of a dull, brick red, brown color. And the red-tailed hawk kind of like conserves his energy. So he fluctuates with what he does half of the year. Half the year, he'll be one kind of bird, and the other half of the year, he'll be another style of bird. And I've kind of found that very similar. In the winter, I'll gain a little bit of weight. I'll be more sedentary. Summer, I start getting more active. I want more of my bright clothes. I prefer, I don't know, I'm an August baby. August 8th is birthday time. And so I start feeling alive during the summer. I start feeling real active, and I'm just like real ready to go out in the world and just tackle everybody and everything and just get it done. But in the winter, I just enjoy downtime, watch some comedies. I love sci-fi stuff, so I'll just watch stupid sci-fi shows. But I'll do the same thing where, I fluctuate. I like my quieter clothes in the winter. It's a little bit more reserved. My eating patterns change in the winter. Yeah, exactly. I thrive in the warm weather, and so my skin will get darker and darker and darker. I rarely ever burn, and I feel like a solar battery. And my skin will absorb the heat of the day, and throughout the rest of the evening, there'll be a warmth that I feel radiates off of my skin. And so during the spring, got fish, got a fish, got a fish. Oh, we got a fish, guys. We got us a fish. He's giving me head shake. Oh, he's giving me some tood. He's giving me tood. He's way out there, so I got to wheel him in. Oh, he's pulling. He's pulling some drag. He's not happy. Woohoo, we got some fish, baby. Come on, fishy. Come on. My bobber was way out there when it went down, man. It was out there 40 yards. Oh, yeah, he's got some weight to him. He's got some weight. So, these are the style trout that I prefer to try and catch. The ones that this fish is probably going to realize he's caught here in a couple seconds. Yep. Oh, there he goes. Yep, he realizes he's caught. Oh, he's out of here. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. He realizes he's caught. Yeah, you caught, buddy? Oh, there you go. You going to be done? Yeah, when are we done? We doing the flip? We doing, oh, yeah, there you go. A whole worm. I got the whole entire night crawler. You can probably see it just sticking out of his mouth. He ate the whole worm. Hoo! He's a little bit smaller than that last guy. But he's got tood, man. He's got some tood. Oh, he's got tood. Serious. Oh, he ain't playing around. He's not happy. He's not happy with me. I got him. We got you. Let's go show the world how beautiful you are. See, now I can catch cool fish and show them to you guys instead of the same old little stalkers. That's kind of like, man, I know I have bigger, better fish here, guys. But the only thing I can keep catching for you guys are them stalkers. Now we can catch these little beauties. Right about 16, 17 inch. A little chunkus. Hi, everybody. I'm a chunkus. The chunkus is going to get free. See you later, chunkus. Thanks for playing. Thanks for being good, buddy. Good little chunkus. Good little chunkus. He tore that worm apart. Tore that worm apart. Yes! Goat! Yeah, Ghost, I took a little time off, man. Regroup, figure out. Had to heal my body. Stopped playing with the band that I was playing with. Had a band breakup in April. So I went through a lot of crap. And life just kind of shifted around on me a little bit. And I had to look at my life, my priorities, what I'm doing. Went and did a little bit of work. And, I kept popping in, watching everybody's. I took about a week and a half off when I went traveling, did a bunch of stuff, but kept hanging out in everybody's lives. And I like the community. Started missing it. And I was like, man, I like talking to you guys. Everyone is such genuine, amazing, good people. You guys are the salt of the earth, man. You make all this really beautiful. Oh, thanks, Chaos. I didn't have my notifications on, man. I had to turn it on yesterday. I was like, why aren't I getting any notifications? So I turned them on for your channel yesterday, so I should be able to see you the next time you're live. Because I was like, I heard you talking yesterday about your live, and I was like, I missed it again? Like, how did I miss it? Because I didn't have it turned on. That's how I missed it. Thanks, Gas. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I really want to give you guys the full me. And I was just going through a little bit of stuff where I wasn't as happy in life. My body was really bugging me, causing me a lot of pain. And I'm that's not going to be a good me. I'm not happy. I'm not energetic and good tails to tail. Uh-oh, what's bugging me? Oh, something was bugging me, man. Oh, I missed that one. Man, I missed that one. Oh, man, Chaos. I appreciate that, man. Oh, he took that worm. He stole my whole worm. I knew something got me. Took my whole worm. Slam, bam. That fish said, thank you, man. We're going to go get your last. Good thing I brought 2 containers of worms, man. Because I'm using a full worm each run out there. That was a worm that fast gone. My bobber went like a weird angle, and it was like it was stuck on rocks. It had that like 45-degree angle. It didn't pull straight down. Matthew. Man, I was saying earlier, I was telling everybody about how terrible my internet is. I got a 19-minute video I made here. I caught 7 fish yesterday. I think I got 4 or 5 of them on my GoPro. And should be up should be up soon, man. I started downloading that thing at 9 p.m. last night. I got up at 4 a.m. this morning. I was only 60% done. All right, I know where they're at again. I keep getting hit in that same spot. We're going back there. We're going back there. We're going back there. Yeah, you know, there's lyrics from an old song that I love, this band called Tea Leaf Green. They would say, it's hard to be cool when you're playing for the profit. They really know it if you've got it or you lost it. So in music, it's true, man. If you're playing for the profit, man, people notice that. And when Real mentioned that the other day, he's like, you know, you chasing the bag or you can let the bag chase you. And my whole life, that's what I've always tried to do. Is do what you love and then the money will come to you. But I started to get into some of this, like, you know, push yourself, YouTube, let's go. In 2-3 months, you can get yourself to this place. And I started to get hyped up in it, and it's just not me. And it just kind of messed me up a little bit. And so I just had to reevaluate a little bit of it. I'm like, I need to get back to what is the specialness of me. And it's a little bit more unpredictable. And it, you know, you can't, it's just felt, you know, if you're chasing a bag and that's all you're trying to do, man, your product is hollow. It people can tell, man. They're like, you're not genuine. So that's what, a couple times, you know, I found myself, it was real bad weather, and I'm like, oh, I should gotta go do my live. I told everybody, and it was like, I'd get after that experience, I wouldn't feel good. My body would be like, yeah, I shouldn't have gone out and done all that. But I was trying to do this push, and it's just not me. So I was like, all right. I watch a guy named called G-Man Fishing. He's up in Oregon. Exactly, Chaos. That's the whole thing, you know. You can only fake it for so long. I watched this one guy for a while, and he was so like enthusiastic. He's like a car salesman meets game show host, and so he's just like so like exuberant, and it just felt like it was a bit of an act. And then one day, a couple of gentlemen came and stood next to him to fish, and he changed his whole demeanor, the way he speaks and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is an act. And I noticed he had a lot of young people in his chat. And so it seemed to be attractive. Yeah, exactly, Fishy. I bet you that's why Emmekins probably just loves the heck out of you, is that goofiness. You know, to me, was nothing more special than to be able to make my loved one, make my partner laugh and crack her up. And so I can see you got that goofiness inside you, and I bet you just make her crack up. You probably made her laugh so many times in your life. Rude! It's so nice to see you, Rudy. So yeah, that's it with me. Is I just needed to be always 100% genuine. And fishing isn't work. Fishing is my bliss. Fishing is my church. Fishing is my sanctuary of life. And I just wanted to. Originally, I wanted to show any fans and a lot of these other people, because I was telling them about the fish that I catch. And it's like, I gotta do this channel so I can actually show people that I catch this stuff. They don't think I'm some blowhard who's just talking about crap. So that was some of my first motivation, was I just wanted to show this community, I catch fish too. I can catch fish. And I like being I'm an introverted person in nature. So when I do things like this, and I switch to my Leo, exuberant, extroverted side, it's fun, but it definitely drains me of energy. So after every live, I'll sit for like 20 minutes and just relax by the water, and I got to like recharge myself. So that's something that I have to keep a close eye on, how much I give. Yeah, absolutely, Goat. I've learned fighting joy. I've learned so much, man. Listening to the interview Fishy did with Real the other day, it was very inspiring. It was very uplifting. I started my business here in town. I had a lot of hopes for doing a few charitable kind of things, and the money just hasn't really worked out to where I could do some of those adventures that I originally planned on doing. But watching that interview with Real reminded me of that. I was like, man, I gotta make sure I focus, and I gotta make sure I make that a reality, because I wanted to create a few outreach programs when I started the business I started. Yeah, exactly, Fishy. I really noticed when the bite picked up, your attitude really got healthier and happier. I'm getting a little bite out there. Getting a little bite. Yep, got a little fish. Got a fish. Yeah, I do think you can be a little bit of both, introvert, extrovert, and you can bounce back and forth. That's what happens with me. And oh yeah, this is a nice little fish. We got fish on, guys. We got fish. We got fish. Oh yeah, he's gonna figure he's caught here in a second. Watch. He's gonna figure he's caught, and then he's gonna do the freak on me. Oh, there he is. There he is. Flap, flap, flippity, flippity, flap. He knows he's caught right now. Come on now. Woo! Oh, he's got some tood. Oh, he's got some tood. Oh, he's got some tood. Where you going, boy? Where you going, Buck? Woo! He wants out. Wow! Oh, he's a beautiful fish, man. About 18-inch beauty. Oh, that's a nice looking fish. Oh, that's a chunk. Man, that's a chunk. You're a chunk. You're a chunk. Hey, chunk. You're from the Goonies. Are you Chunk from the Goonies? Hey, you guys. It's me, Chunk. Sorry, buddy. Maybe bunk eyeball. Chunk. Hey, you guys. Let's show everybody Chunk. Oh, man, you're a big chunkus. You big chunk. Let's see the chunk. Let's see the chunk needs to get back in the water. There's the chunk. Oh, he's a chunk. He's a chunk. He wants out. You're not happy with me. Oh, you're a big chunk. Look at you go. Wow, it's a big fish. Gorgeous fish. Gorgeous fish. Fish number 3. Fish number 3. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Chunk. Hey, you guys. I love Chunk. Let's get another worm on there and go get him. Oh, this is kind of fun fishing here. Big fish. Give me a big tood. And I'm hoping for the big one to take home. Do some cooking. All these fish would have been good eating. Come on, let's get him. That was a nice fish. That was fun. See, this is my kind of fishing. This is my kind of fishing. Oh, there goes the float. Let's see if we can get you guys lined up so you can see the float getting taken down. And see, now I'd rather give you guys this, you know, the full blue experience with me jamming on some of these big ones than 4 other lives that I could have done where I was just catching all them little stalkers for you. Because now you see me, you know, full action, excited blue. Quality over quantity. Doing really good, man. I don't know why you're not blued. Maybe you guys haven't seen you enough. Let's blue you up. Cool. Man, this is a nice spot, guys. That's 3 beautiful fish. Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Cass. Yeah, it's been great to, you know, I watched Ghosts live the other day. I've tried to limit how many notification things I turn on because my phone will just get blown up and I'll have 200 notifications at once. And so I subscribe to everybody, but I only have notifications on to so many channels. And that's why I realized I didn't have yours on the other day, Chaos. I was like, oh man. But I was watching Ghost the other day for the first time, I think. And it was just so neat to get to see his personality, get to hear him talk. I see you guys like you, Chaos. I know you from chat, but I haven't watched your live yet. So it'll be nice to hear your voice, to see what you're about, what your personality is like. Oh yeah, no problem. Fishing joy, no problem. And so yeah, that's the beauty of it all is the getting to know each other. Like Fishy Things has got such a great comical attitude. I had a good buddy forever. He passed a while back, but he was very comical, and me and him were like a little comedy duo. My comedy works really well. I'm a, you know, that's what she said kind of guy. And so somebody will say something and I will have an instant comeback, a little pun that works off what they said. And so that's where I'm in my element. So I get around a goofy kind of person that we can just create comedy in the moment. And I can tell by Fishy's personality that you know, if we hung out in person, it'd be that kind of deal, where you're just cracking each other up with spontaneous humor. But that's probably what some of the funnest part about the YouTube fishing community is getting to know everybody. Oh yeah, Fishy, absolutely, man. You're a stand-up brother. It's been nice getting to learn, getting to watch you guys. Like Grease, he's such a solid gentleman, such a professional in his attitude. I try to joke Grease, which is some dumb, stupid little humor and stuff like that. It just flies right over his head a lot of times. And he'll read it off like it's serious. I'm like, that's not as serious. That's a stupid joke. But he doesn't get it, and it doesn't come across right. And I'm like, oh, it's funny. You know, you can tell who's rooted in humor, like for their personality, or you know, sometimes a little bit more academically rooted personalities. Yeah, exactly. I learned how to make fun of myself. If you can't laugh at yourself, you know, you got a problem. And so I have no problem. In the Native American lore, we have the thing called the trickster, and the trickster was a very powerful teacher, but he taught through unorthodox methods. And one of the ways that he taught was through humor and laughter and making fun of yourself to break the seriousness. Yeah, exactly. I have to curtail. Someone said something the other day, and oh man, I had the perfect, that's what she said, come back. But I was like, oh, I think it was on Fishies yesterday. And I'm like, oh, that just may not be appropriate. Into this day and age, you got to kind of watch your humor a little bit. You know, a lot of the racist kind of humor that I had in the 70s and 80s is long gone. But like, you know, the dumb blonde jokes, all those are long gone too. But like, sometimes even that's what she said. You just got to watch out, you know. If there's a bunch of dudes sitting around, then maybe they could handle that. But I don't want to offend any females that might be listening. And so, oh boy, there was a perfect one, someone said, and I was biting my lip to not throw that one out there. Yeah. Well, you know what's so strange about the text and this kind of community is you can't see, you know, the energy behind it, because you know words have 2 meanings and 3 meanings and 4 meanings. And so you can say something with a smirk, and someone can tell by your body language that you're just joking. But online, you can't. And so dry humor sometimes just doesn't come off as well. Yeah, exact. I had a buddy when I was in Wisconsin. I lived in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And Probelski, Art Probelski was his name. And he didn't have the same kind of jokey sense of humor that I had being raised up. One day I'm leaving work and I'm driving by. We worked the late night shift, so we get off at like 12:30. And I give him the finger. And I'm just, you know, it's something I do to every good buddy of mine. I'm just like, hey, buddy, give me the finger as I'm leaving. And I saw him the next day at work, and he was all bent out of shape. It's like, what's your problem, dude? I didn't do anything to you. And I was like, what did I do? He's like, you gave me the finger. I was like, yeah, that was my way of saying hi. He's like, no, that's not cool, man. Yeah, exactly, Fishy. And so I was like 18 at the time, almost 18, I think. And so I had to just kind of learn a little bit. I was like, well, maybe my kind of humor isn't everybody's humor. And I thought I was just joking, good old Art. I just gave him the finger. And boy, was he all bent out of shape. Thought I was mad at him. And I'm like, that was just my way of joking you. Yeah, exact. I've learned to be less critical of a lot of things. My dad was a clean kind of guy. He loved to, you know, keep his house pretty clean. And so he'd have me help him make the bed when I was a young kid. And, you know, we'd vacuum the house every day. My dad would like to take 2 showers a day. Whoa, that fish was cool. My dad was just, you know, so he brought me up in a way of demonstrating a level of cleanliness around your house and in your environment that was pretty rigid. Yeah. And so I found that I developed a lot of those same patterns that my dad had. And so in my early relationship days, I was really strong about cleanliness. But I got in a lot of arguments and fights with my partner because she wasn't keeping the house clean the way I thought we needed to keep a house clean. And man, let me tell you what, after watching the stress it put into a relationship, I decided that I think I'd rather live with a messy house. Yeah, Fishy. I was thinking about Meatloaf. I was thinking about him this morning. I was like, man, I haven't heard from old Nick, Mr. Meatloaf, in a bit. Every so often I think about making up other dumb accounts just to go mess with people, just to be an idiot, you know. I was going to do like, you know, Skeeter's missing tooth, something like that. Then I'll go into Skeeter's live and Skeeter's missing tooth. Just mess around, do stupid shit like that. Kumari! Yeah, that's a tough one, Goat. You know, I went vegetarian for like 17 years, and by society standards, I was like, kind of like a hippie type person. I was very conscious about the earth and everything I did, and the reality I lived in. And so fishing became a challenging experience, to be all honest with you, because I knew that I was going to be hurting another life form. And so there's a little part of me that doesn't necessarily enjoy showing my dominance over another creature in this planet. Just because I've figured out a way to make a fish bite and I can pull him in doesn't mean that I need to use that skill in a ruthless manner. So I try to fish because I need to feed myself and my family, not show how cool I am, that I have dominance over another species. So that one was a bit of a challenge. I have ridden off-road motorcycle my whole life, and for a while it was hard riding too, because the motorcycle, you're killing a lot of plants and you're doing a lot of stuff when you're out there ripping it up. So when I had really immersed myself into being like the best kind of person I could be, it was challenging to do certain things like that. So I can understand where some of those people come from and their attitude. Plants are serious living creatures. Okay, there's been these studies that have been done that have put on these like electrodes we use for like EKGs and ECGs on humans, and they were able to read the energy that's coming off plant, and then that person would say mean things to that plant, like, I hate you, you're terrible, I'm going to kill you, and the plant would suffer, and it would electrically, you could see that it was being affected. And then one of the trippiest things on that test showed that a person 3,000 miles away was able to think bad thoughts about that plant. And that plant, under testing equipment, started reacting. So even a human that's 3,000 miles away, that's like, I hate you, I want to kill you, that plant being tested felt it. So yeah, fishy. They really are. There's one called Plant Spirit Medicine. Elliot Cohen wrote these beautiful books, and he talked all about the plant and their energetics and how basically he described it as like a chief archetype that kind of represents. So like the cedar tree or the redwood tree would have a chief spirit that represents all of those trees, and that spirit can inhabit the different trees as it will. Kind of look at it like playing a video game, and how there's just cars that are just sitting there, and you're in a Grand Theft Auto or something, and all of a sudden you jump into a new car and the car becomes active and starts to do what you want. There's things in this reality we live in, like trees and other things, which consciousnesses can pop into, and then they inhabit that tree for a little while, and then the consciousness will move on and go somewhere else. It's a little hard for us to understand how, where, and when, and why it all happens. But just like in those games where you jump into the body of something, and you're an avatar and you're playing, and then you leave that avatar and you go back to just being who you are normally in life. Similar things can happen in this interesting construct we're in. Yeah, I first went live this morning. I had some guy trying to, he was continually asking me about using the N-word. And I was not going to give him anything that he was after. And so then I just nicely said that to him. I'm like, this is a fishing channel. I'm not sure what you're looking for here, but you're probably not going to find it here. And I'm not going to give you the response. And that's what I learned, when you're dealing with people that like to gossip, that like to spend their time being trolls, that you just don't give them any energy. And eventually it's like adding fuel to a fire. Eventually the fire just kind of burns out. Unfortunately, my second wife that I have a child with, she ended up being a little bit like that. And I didn't vet her well enough when we were first dating. And she really loved gossip and drama. And she could sit there and have an event go on, and she would call somebody on the phone. Oh, you're not going to believe what Susie did. And she did blah, 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 blah. And then she would call another person and tell the same story, call another person. And I would see her on the phone for like 4 hours, just telling the same story to person after person after person. But me, I could care less. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, do you want to go help me with the farm? Do you want to go help me build this? And she wouldn't. She would just want to sit around and talk. And so eventually it was kind of like, I don't think we're very well matched. I'm more of a let's go get stuff done. And you like to just kind of talk about people. Yeah, the trolls can make it, sometimes. I think there's certain kind of humor that works great. A little bit of potty mouth is fine. The racial stuff, no. The derogatory stuff, no. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. But, if you want to come in and be a little bit of a goofus, that kind of stuff, that's great. But tried to bait somebody to get them to say something or set somebody up for a stumble. Hey, man, I've been there way too many times there. I went to this gathering of people, and it was the only time that, I always had a strong code of ethics. If a girl's with somebody or something like that, got that bro code thing. But I met this one girl that she was with a guy originally, and then I saw the way she was acting with other guys, and I was like, she may be in like an open relationship. And so I ended up with that girl, took her from her boy, and that was like one of the only times I ever did that. That was an interesting one, man. This guy comes up to me, and he's like, oh, she's a real nice queen bee, because she was a real beautiful blonde girl, and he's like, takes a lot of money to keep a queen bee happy. This older gentleman just kind of looked at me when he said that, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, huh? I was in my early 30s, and I had a lot of walking around money, as Jed Clampett would say, walking around money. I never learned about vetting people. You know what I mean? Someone gave me attention when I was young. I was like, all right, woohoo. Then I learned a lot about that, man. Take your time. Be patient before you give someone your heart, before you give your soul and you commit to someone like that. Check with the community, check with people. Make sure that they're a good person. My daughter's 18, and her best friend's about to turn 19, and she's like, I've known her since she was in first grade, so it's like having another daughter. And that girl who's 19 is, making a lot of real hard choices right now. She just got pregnant, and she's going to be a single mom, and she just wants to be a mom. And so many people can see the trouble, and they're like, oh, girl, she met a guy online, and just, he was from Africa, and they just were going to get married, and he was going to come to this country and live with her. And it's like, you've never met the guy. So many people see all these red flags, but she's just like, no, I'm going for it. That is so beautiful, Chaos. That is so cool, man. This world is getting harder and harder to see that. My stepmom and stepdad. Well, no, my stepmom had parents who were together their whole life. They met, and they were childhood sweethearts, and they were, this was in the 80s, early 90s, and they were together for 40 or 50 years at that point. They were one of the few couples I've ever seen that got together at super young age, and never divorced, never messed, nothing ever, never messed their relationship up. Yeah, same. I was unhealthy, I was raised in a pretty toxic environment, emotionally and then verbally abusive kind of environment. And so I had to do a lot of unlearning. I was very toxic. You know, in my early 20s, I did a lot of counseling, anger management for about a year, counseling for about 4 years, to just finally get a grasp on having a decent emotional vocabulary. I had all these emotions that I just couldn't process and express very well. They just would come out in anger or, rage. So for me, I had to learn, through a whole bunch of counseling that that's just part of who I am, because there was so much chaos and things like that in my early life that I developed that way. And so my electrical system, if you will, just is hot wired for anger and frustration. And so it's got like a knee-jerk reaction. I can't stop it a lot of times. But what I've learned to do is I've learned to control that expression. It's like the in-breath and an out-breath. I can't control the in-breath part, but I can control the out-breath part. I can't always control what makes me angry, but I can control how I express anything. And that's what I didn't have when I was younger. Was I would just get angry, and then I would blame, and I would tear you apart for the experience that I'm feeling on the inside. I'd blame you for that. And that's the one thing they teach you in anger management. You don't say things like, she pushed my buttons. That's what a lot of like abusive people will use an excuse and say, well, she did it, and she said this, and she did that. And nope. You own it all. You own every bit of your emotional reality. And you say to yourself, I let my buttons be pushed. I let this happen. I let that happen. That's the true reality. Nobody did nothing to you. You control your own emotional body. You just use it as an excuse to behave a certain way. That was probably the longest learning lesson for me. Stop blaming others, man. So I was really happy I did all that. It was funny. I was doing this anger management stuff with all these like court-appointed guys who, if they didn't do it, they'd go to jail. And so I was like the only dude in there that was there on my own accord. Everyone else was mandated like through the court system to do this. And I had this really nice German counselor. His name was Friedel. And great guy, man. And I was 22 at the time, and he was like, man, I commend you, brother. He's like, in this business, he's like, I see most people wait till they're in their 40s, and then the guys have lost everything. Their whole world comes crumbling down, and then they come to get counseling. They want to finally deal with their anger. He's like, you're doing it in your early 20s. He's like, you got a long life ahead of you where you're not going to have the toxicity of anger ruin your life. And it did. I've had great relationships ever since. I've made a ton of positive. Yeah, thanks, Joy. Yeah, you know what I mean? We all have to become the best versions of ourselves. I'd stop blaming everybody. That was the world my mom taught me. Was it's always somebody else's fault for why we feel what we feel. And I decided to come out of it and own it all. I've done a fair share of outreach, try to help educate men on how to, own their emotional body and own their reality instead of blaming others. Sometimes it takes a while to unlearn those bad things that you learned. And when you go on a journey of self-improvement, you can take a look at all the things that you learned from your growing environment, your parental structure, grandma, whoever raised you. And unfortunately, there's probably a handful of things that they taught you that you got to unlearn. And that takes a lot of work just to get back to ground zero and then start to program yourself with really positive things. But that's what we have in this beautiful world. Is we have all this opportunity, option, capability. That was why it was very inspiring. Listen to Real talk about how his outreach in this world, how he affects people, and how the positivity that he wants to shed and how much healing and joy he tries to bring through fishing. Skinny! Yeah, fishy, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I did a bunch of parenting classes. You know, I mean, what better job will you ever have than shaping the morality and the functionality of another human? I mean, so many things that they're going to learn, that they're going to carry with them for many years. Yeah, it's challenging, Cindy. It can be a trap. Being the victim, it's an easy place to go where you don't have the responsibility to look at your own actions. And anytime you admit that you got a problem, like if you admit that you got an alcohol problem, usually with that comes the realization that you got to deal with the problem and get healthy. So people will stay in denial forever. Yeah, exactly, Jack. And so even a lot of these spiritualists, I live in Mount Shasta, and we got a ton of spiritual people here, metaphysical people that want to change the world, want to do all these amazing things. Victimhood is one thing that even gets the best of the spiritualists. They get to feeling powerless. Like, how can I ever do anything? This world is so big. There are so many. Why, thank you, Bess. Thank you. Or B driven equipment. I'm sorry, I thought it said Bess. Victim is just an excuse. You just want to blame others, and it's easier to point the fingers at others and say, well, this is why it's going on. And basically, that's the easy way. There's no work to be done. There's no modifying of your behavior, no looking inward to see how you can become better. And that takes hard work. It's easy to blame others. It's always somebody else. That's the Native American believe that this is what's called the fourth world. It's called the fourth world of separation. That we had all these different worlds that we've gone through, and you have things like the Great Flood that destroyed a previous world. And one time there was a world that was frozen, there was a world that was on fire, and there was a world that was flood. So we have all these myths on how we survived those times. So they call this one the fourth world of separation. And what's supposed to be born next is called the fifth world of peace. And the fifth world of peace will have very few requirements that each person must have. But one of them is the ability to look inward when you have an issue. If you have an issue with other humans, are you able to look inward and figure out why you are having an issue with them? Or are you the kind of person that just needs to blame everybody else? So if you have that ability to inward reflect and see how your actions are reflecting others in your community, then you're golden. You possess one of the skills that is necessary to build a beautiful new world. Because the previous ones have always been about everyone just pointing at everybody else. You're the reason this. You're the reason I built my fences. You're the reason we have this. You're the reason we do all that. And so that's what I've noticed. And so anytime I see that or I don't see that in a person, it's one of the few things. And I don't judge people. I make an assessment. An assessment versus a judgment. Assessment just understands your qualities and it understands where you are. Is this animal going to hurt me? Does this dog bite? That's an assessment. That's not a judgment. Oh, it really is, man. I had a hard time learning to say I was wrong. I had a hard time learning to say I was sorry. For me, it felt like an admission of weakness. is what it felt like in my youth. To admit that I did something or I thought something wrong felt weak. Like I need to be perfect, smart, the best, everything always. And if I show the world that I'm not that, then it means I'm a failure. So I had to learn. No, it's part of accountability. We all make mistakes. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And so I'd make a mistake and I'd take it real hard. And I beat myself up for that. And I had to learn, man, it's not about that. Mistakes are just part of the learning, part of the grow. It's part of getting where you want. You just failed. You didn't succeed at that moment. It's one more step of learning on how to succeed. Yeah, be driven. I completely agree. Completely agree with you there. That's one of the most vital things. Shedding toxic friends sometimes is a really difficult thing to do, but it's all part of being like really honest with yourself. Because sometimes we evolve and we change, and those people that we had in our life 5 years ago didn't evolve on a similar path. Oh yeah, exactly. That's a great example. B. You know, you really have to look at that. You know, there's one constant that there's nothing we can do about, and it's we become the energy of those we surround ourselves with. We become the energy of those we surround ourselves with. There's nothing we can do about that. Whoever has the highest vibration in the room, we automatically try to match that frequency. It's just the way a human does. There's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, that's crazy, Goat. Yeah, I watched a buddy of mine change and become better. And the girl that he was once with for a long time, he's not with. And I said to him, I was like, do you think she liked you better when you were toxic and you were abusive? He's like, oh yeah, her new boyfriend, just like how I used to be. So sometimes people get comfortable in a certain environment, and it's like that's how they were raised. That's what they know in life to be is a certain toxicity, and you may choose to get healthy, but they don't. Yeah, fishy. I know exactly what you mean, and sometimes it's like some of the hardest things because you have all this love and all this past connection with them, and you don't want to give up on that. I had a buddy who just could never get positive. Yep. Yeah, that's the kind of way I got it. Was like my friend was like my brother, but like he just didn't have the same positivity at all, and it was always negativity, and it was always he just wanted to complain about stuff and not figure out how to make a positive change. And so after years of it, I got tired because I was like, I've given you advice so many times on the same subject, but you just want to complain. You don't actually want to put effort into making your life better. Yeah, trust and respect are something that can be given out and then they can be taken away too. I'll respect people right away. Trust is something that gets earned, but the respect can disappear pretty fast. It's like if you're not a nice person and I watch you do some, if I watch you be abusive to your dog and you hit your dog, but then you're all smiley and nice and everything like that, I lose a lot of respect for you. I'm like, nah, man, you're kind of an abusive person that just hides it, bro. I watched you beat the crap out of that dog when he did something wrong. So, you know, There is no book of how we should all live. We all do our best. We find the ones that we gravitate towards that make us feel good and we have similar realities to. And if you're lucky, you get some beautiful people. And they want to help build you up as much as you want to build yourself up, instead of the ones that want to knock you down. I've never wanted to get taller by standing on somebody. I never wanted to gain power by standing on somebody. My power, my growth, my financial abundance does not need to come because I squashed you. Yeah, exactly. If you want to lay yourself down like a doormat and you let yourself be abused, then, you know, if you lay yourself down like a doormat all the time, don't get mad when people step on you. That's what I always say. You chose to lay down like a doormat. Don't be mad that people step on you, man. Yeah, exactly, Fishy. You know, I watched this little video of this little pit bull, this little short of this little potato, cute little pit bull. They got adopted by this little Asian boy. And oh my God, it just made your heart swell up. Nobody would adopt this little pit bull because it was pit bull. And then this little 2-year-old boy just fell in love with it. And that thing had the biggest eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with nature and with animals. I have found it challenging with humans. I always say humans speak with forked tongue. But nature, I know exactly what it's going to give me. I know what to expect from it. And it doesn't vary that way. Animals will always give me the same. The river will always give me the same. But people can be two-faced. People can be treacherous. People can invite you in and you feel safe, and then you let your guard down, and then uh-oh. So it's taken me a little while to learn to be selective. I have a tight inner circle. My outer circle, I have a lot of acquaintances. We have a Sunday gathering in the park here in this town, so hundreds of us will gather. So I have a lot of acquaintances. But that inner circle connectiveness is a little more protective. Getting invited over for dinner, it takes a while, kind of an experience. It wasn't the safest place when I was growing up to express who you are. It was easy to get put down, easy to get made fun of for just different viewpoints that you had. So I learned kind of the hard way through some rough experiences to just not share a lot of who I am and my way of thinking very often. So I'll find that inner circle. And then once you get that, people that you can really trust like that, then you can let down all your walls. Well, this has been a great live, guys. I'm glad I caught some good fish. I caught 3 nice fish. Got to keep that big beauty. See, it's been about 2.5 hours. I'm trying to wrap it up soon here. I know Fishing Thing is going to go live soon. And Stay Fishing Redmond, Oregon is going to go live probably around 9 or so, 10 maybe. A couple more lives I'm going to jump into here soon. Yeah. For me, you know, I remember, you know, I vividly understand and know that I chose to be here. I chose to come here for learning experiences. I chose, you know, for my spirit to have growth. Kind of like choosing to go to school, go to college. I chose to come to this, what we call master class of Earth. Some people think it's a kindergarten experience to come here to this planet, but actually it's a master class. It's a master class to come to a place where you're stripped of all connections, all memory of who you are and what your higher self truly is. And all connection like that is stripped away from you. And then now you got to find it all. You got to find your way. You got to learn without any connectivity to previous knowledge you had before carnation. So it's a master class to come to this planet and learn to be a strong, beautiful human and not let it take you apart. It's a predator-prey construct, which is what's challenging. The dog-eat-dog world is just kind of the way it's designed. I mean, look at me, what I'm doing. All the fish out there I'm catching. It's predator versus prey. So, understanding that that's just the way that this society works, the way this world is, then you can navigate it. Because it's just the way it is. Don't be upset about it. Just try to understand the predator-prey construct and do the best you can. There is a dog-eat-dog competitiveness out there in the world. If you don't deal with it and you don't stay current, then people will pass you by. Just like that. Fat cat! So yeah, I have a nice guy attitude. I have a high road I always try to follow kind of philosophy. I believe morals are very important. But I think they say in the Bible, God helps those who help themselves. So there's something that's solid about that. You got to go out there and make it. You got to go out there and do it. You got to go out there and create the vision, the dream, the YouTube channel that you want for yourself, the community. I got to go out here and catch these fish for you guys. We can tend to be our own worst enemy. We create 1,000 reasons why we can't do stuff instead of just give ourselves permission to go out and do it. Rock River for catfish again, Fishy? Is that where you going, buddy? Catfish and carp? Yeah, I like that song by Joe Walsh called Life of Illusion. When you live in a life of illusion, caught up in endless solutions that have no meaning, just another hunch based upon jumbled conclusions. Heck yes. I was looking at this. Watch this guy, some of these gardening shows I watch. He was a beekeeper and he had this like Langerstrom or some other kind of bee box that he used. It was a whole different style instead of the side-by-side slats that the hives go in. These ones were up and down on top of each other. And so you have this little device that helps you lift up some of the combs, and then you can slide a new rack in the bottom. And basically, by the whole talk of it all is the bees would migrate from one comb to the next. They would go up. And so they fill up the bottom one full of honey, and then they move up to the next one. And so with this style of thing, they don't need bee suits. They don't need smoke. They don't need anything. Yeah, Langley, it looked really cool. And I was thinking about trying that. I was like, that might be right up my alley, because the whole other way with the smoke and the bee outfit and all that stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do all that. But, I got so much garden stuff and we got so much amazing things around me. I mean, there's so many bees on my strawberries. I got about 900 strawberry plants. So I thought about that. I was like, oh, hey, Tracy's. If I could just make it a teeny bit simpler. And I watched that system and I was like, oh, that looks so easy. The bees just migrate up to the next comb. And then the box system, the hive, it looks like the hardest thing. Because you had to have as a thing that's got to lift up the one combs so then you can slide out that one. It's not like the other ones that you can just drop in and out so easy. And I saw a few of them online for like $300-400. You could buy them or maybe make your own. That's cool, B Driven. I'm going to check out your your channel later on today after I'm done with all this. I really, because that's one of my next things to learn. I really love the bees. It's one of the few things that can completely sustain humanity. There's no one food source out there that can sustain humanity. There's not enough enzymes and aminos and things like that that are in all foods. That's why you have to eat beans and rice. The combination of beans and rice can sustain you. But the bees, they make stuff that can completely sustain a human. But you have to eat all four. You have to eat the honey, the pollen, the propolis, and the royal jelly. If you consume all four of those, you can completely sustain human life. There's nothing else. I mean, you'll be able to live. And so that's a respectful thing. I was a royal jelly guy for a long time. Really love royal jelly. Take that in there and you can just feel like the whole, this buzzing energy in your body when you take in that royal jelly. But I would get conscious about it because I know how important that is for the queen. And it's like, man, do we really want to be eating this stuff? Oh, yeah. I know some bad mosquitoes areas. I know exactly what you're talking about. I learned probably, about 15 years ago or so to stop fighting it if I ever get stung by a bee. When I was young, I used to just fight it. And now if I ever get stung by a bee, I don't tense up. I don't have that reaction. I just sit there and relax. And it's really interesting because you'll feel this energy go through your whole body. It may be the toxin or whatever that the bee had on it, but it has this buzzing quality. It has this electric energy. And you can actually feel it if you slow yourself down and just relax. And the sting, it doesn't cause pain. It's this weird energy that's just going through your body. Yeah, we got these meat bees, these hornets up here, and they rarely ever sting. So I don't ever worry about those guys. Are great, man. I give them fish. I'll give them fish for an offering all the time. They love it, man. They want some sugary or they want meat. We call them meat bees. They're a type of wasp. I think actually it might be a hornet, and but they're great, man. They just want meat. They want meat and sugar. But yeah, that it's just that little bit of a. It's hard to describe. It's like a burn, and then there's like this high energy vibration and frequency that comes from the bee sting. You just sit with it. It doesn't hurt too bad, but you'll feel it. You'll actually feel like this fluttering. For me, I feel the energy that feels like when a bee is flying. That's the best way to say it. When the sting happens and it goes into my body, it's like this energy that feels like they're flying. Yeah, I think it is. I think the meat bees are hornets. And but I love them up here. I'm nice with them. We got that carpenter bee. I have the old school. The house I rent has cedar shingles on the side, cedar paneling or whatever it is, and so wow. That's cool, fishy. And so these big giant carpenter bees, that big black dude, this is just massive. And so they like to go into that. They're little knot holes that were in the side of the house. And so they'll go in there. And I'll have a little stuff gardening right there. I'll have some little flowers or something like that. And I'll be there doing stuff, and they never even come close to bugging me. They're like a predatory dude. Another bug comes around, it's like two helicopters. These carpenter bees are just swarming around, attacking anything that flies. But they're like the gentlest little guy. I sit there, and they just want to go in the hole, and you can hear them in there. I think they go in there and make a nest because they just show up out of nowhere in the spring. They're around for about 2 months, and then they're gone. I never see them again. Yeah, they really are sweet. Just nice little guys, man. Bees get a bad rap. I love, love, love bees. Native philosophy. It's the birds, the bats, and the bees. Those are three things they told us to watch out for. When you see a reduction in the birds, the bats, and the bees, that Earth is going through weird changes, is what they told us. So they're like, be careful with those, because those three guys are really connected together. And the frogs, too. Oh, that makes sense. That's why I saw them a couple times. That's why I noticed that. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what those carpenter bees did. That's that because one of the parts, my bedroom is on the other side of the wall. So if you go over there and listen, you can hear this weird like buzzing going on where the carpenter bees have their home, and it's hard to describe what it sounds like. It's a little bit of bee action going on in there. There's a teeny bit, a little bit of buzzing that I hear inside the wall, but there's one area where like the birds made a nest, and when they come in and they make a nest in that wall, you hear movement, you hear chirping, you hear all kinds of noise. But the bees, you don't really hear much. They're just, you can tell they're in there. Yeah, you know, my daughter's really adamant about people fixing their cats. And I remember Bob Barker always being, have your cats and dogs spayed and neutered. And he was always, you know, really, really adamant about that. And I think it's cats are give birth to like 16 cats to every human born in this country. You too. Appreciate you, Joy. And so, with the cats being so many of them, they've really destroyed a lot of the birds. And since the 70s, since I was a boy, I'm 53 now, there's been a reduction of 25% of the birds that we have here in America. A quarter of the birds are gone. Cats have a lot to do with it. I have a cat that we let go outside and become an outdoor kitty, and she nice. Yeah, I'm not sure about the honey ones. But boy, when I let the cat was half bobcat. She was bred here by a gal in town, and her little female just got pregnant. And by the look of it and by the attitude of this cat, I'm pretty sure this cat's half bobcat. And so this cat, when I started letting this cat out, boy, she's just a hunter. And she can just take down a lot of birds, man. And it's just like crazy. She ended up really loving the neighbor's home. And she goes in there during the winter. And I was talking to the gal the other week, and she's like, oh, she'll bring a baby squirrel in. She'll bring all kinds of stuff in for us. But it's kind of sad to see, like, we've lost 25% of our bird population here in America. It's like, wow. Manx are cool. I had a Maine Coon forever. I loved her. We call that kitty Foxy, the one that's half bobcat. And she's a female. She's been fixed, but she likes to spray. She likes to spray just like a male cat. She's really strange, man. And she'll back up to something, and you know, she just use her urine, and she'll spray 2 or 3 feet high. She makes her marks everywhere. And that was one of the first things I noticed about her that gave it off. I was like, this cat doesn't act like a regular cat, man. And yeah, exactly. Some cats had to be taught. A lot of cats will just torture something. They won't actually eat it. They'll just play with it until it dies. Their mom has to teach them how to eat something. This outdoor cat that I have, after a few years, she started figuring it out. I started just taking down birds, and I was like, you better eat that bird. And I came back, and she had half that bird devoured. Yeah, it's an interesting balance there. It's like we got a few areas around here where there's a lot of feral cats. And as bad as a few nice people that go out and trap them, take them in, get them fixed, get them neutered. Because it just can really wreak havoc on a population, man. All right, fishes. One more last good fish would be nice. Got 3 beauties today. Not seeing as much jumping. Had a ton more jumping action yesterday. Still, super happy with the ones I got. Mr. Chunkus, I'm keeping. Hey, you guys! Oh, that's really cute, Cindy. That's cool, Chaos. That's the thing about a lot of breeds of dogs is you have to give them a purpose, and especially like those cattle dogs, they need a purpose in life. If they don't have that purpose, if they don't have some way to get that energy out, then they get destructive. They'll dig holes. They'll do things which people have a hard time with, and it's like, well, you got to let that dog needs some purpose. So you understand that's what that dog was bred for. I love that about dogs. They're so sweet that way. There's a big bad boy out there. He's called a Karelian bear dog. He's a really cool dog, man. Only about 25% of the breed has the correct temperament to actually herd bears and scare off bears. But the Karelian bear dog, man, they got him in Yellowstone, and they'll protect areas, man. My mom bred poodles, toys, minis, standards. She had a lot of champions. Her big standard black guy, man, he won a lot of awards. She got so much money for breeding that dog. She had a throwback one that came out of nowhere, and it was like an all red one, and one of her minis. That dog, she got a lot of money for that dog, a lot of money. And like out of nowhere, a black or white breeding dog will give you a weird genetic throwback, and you'll get an all red dog or something strange to come out. Ooh, yep. I literally like those Karelian bear dogs, man. But the chance of getting the correct one, to have that right temperament, it's gonna be tough. I like the Weimaraner. I had a bunch of German Shepherds, Huskies, Malamutes, and things. The next dog I wanted to get was the German Weimaraner. I've seen a couple in person. Man, they're so beautiful. Heck yes. My neighbor had a King Doberman once. Man, it was a red Dobie that was about twice the size of your average Doberman pinscher. I did not know such things existed. Wow, that was a big, beautiful dog, man. That King Doberman was something. I like working class dogs. It's always been my forte. Small dogs took me a lot to warm up to. Jack Russells and things like that. That would have so much energy. I'd be like, oh, I just don't think you're the right personality for me. And my stepmom and my dad had Yorkies, 6 of them for the last like 10 years of his life. So I'd go down there. Those things would be so cute. Little Harley, little teeny guy. And I'd warm up. I'm like, oh, dog is pretty darn sweet. This is the cutest little thing ever. So I prefer working class dogs if I'm going to have a dog myself. But boy, some of them little guys are just little love muffins. It's just dogs are so interesting when you have a few people at home. You get them as a married couple or something like that. You never know who will bond with whom. And like my dad and stepmom probably had about 4 or 5 of them Yorkies, and most of them always bonded with my stepmom. One of them finally bonded with my dad, and he was just so happy. That was his little baby, and it was so cute. He was so happy that little Abigail loved him, and wanted nothing to do with Dawn, my stepmom. She's a black woman, and she spoiled those dogs like you wouldn't believe. She never had kids of her own, so oh man, she would spoil those, and she'd make them. She'd cook chicken for them every day. They had fresh cooked breakfast. These dogs were spoiled, but they weren't the worst behaved dogs I'd seen. Well, this has been nonstop casting, man. That's all I've been doing whole time. I'm sitting here reading chat. I probably cast it out 200 times since my live. Feel like I'm steelhead fishing. Casting out, floating down, reeling it back in. Casting it out, floating it down, reeling it back in. That's sweet. I had 2 German Shepherds when I was about 15, and took them to obedience training, and it was fun, like training 2 dogs at once, because we'd have I would do one where I would tell the dog to stay, and then I would work with the other dog, giving it treats and everything like that. And that other dog was in the stay position, and boy, it wants to move. It wants to. And the guy also did protection training. He trained police dogs, and he trained all kinds of other dogs. And he had this little tool that was like a clacker. It was like 2 pieces of plastic shaped like a long little, like 2 wooden spoons put together, but made of plastic basically. And so he would move this thing back and forth. It would go like clack, 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 and make a really obnoxious sound. So he would use this to see if the dog had the correct temperament. So he would like do that thing in front of the dog. If the dog like yelped and ran and hid, they were not the kind of dog that could be protection trained. If they were the type of dog that got mad at that little clacker and wanted to bite it, then they were the right dog. And so he tested my German Shepherds, and he's like, no, neither of these dogs have the right personality to be protection trained. Clay! I just saw that other fish jump out there. I gotta get my butt over to where that little sucker is. Fishing's going good, Clay. 3 fish. 3 bad boys. 3 big boys. Oh, man. That was a terrible cast. My worm was stuck to the bobber. I wasn't going to catch nothing on that. This worm's pretty sad, man. One more shot. Let's do one more worm, guys. Oh. It's about time to wrap it up here, but I'll do one more, float one more worm down. I saw a fish jump out there. He's close in. I know right where he's at. I went through some worms. I used a lot of worm today. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a good looking worm. That's going to catch the big fish. That's a big fish catching worm. All right, all right, all right. You know what they say about these high school fish? They keep getting older, but these fish keep staying the same age. See about 3 boats out here looking at my spot. That's a hot dollar fishing hole. That's what they're giving me. Yeah. That's a hot dollar fishing hole, boy. I was fishing in Oregon on the Chetco River in the real nice fishing hole. And this old man comes up to me, and you could tell he wanted to fish where I was fishing. He looked irritated that I was there. He goes up, and he's like, "That's a hot dollar fishing hole you in, boy." And I'm like, "Yep. Why do you think I got here so darn early?" It's funny how different anglers handle that reaction of you have something in mind, you have a particular spot that you want to fish, and you get there and there's somebody else already there. There's the boat. There's that boat. He's a guy out there eyeballing me. He's circling. He's circling, waiting for me to leave. I can see him. He's like a shark, circling. When you gonna leave, boy? I'm gonna come anchor. There's another float boat over to the left of that. Yeah. Oh, there's an osprey. Is that the eagle? No, that's an osprey. Caught a fish about a week or so ago. I was testing out another spot of the lake, and it was nothing but them little stalkers. So I caught this little 13-inch fish, and I let him go, and he took off real strong. Gone. I'm like, all right, all right. And then all of a sudden, I see some action like 10 feet from the shore. I'm like, what the heck is that? Why is the fish so close? Well, that fish that I let go eventually decided he just didn't have it in him. He kept bellying up, but he was like 15 feet out, so I couldn't get him. I couldn't net him or anything like that. And I knew that was bad news, man. I was like, oh, you ain't going to last long. I was like, the osprey is going to see you. And oh, he did, man. Oh, he did. All of a sudden, I see the osprey fly around, and I could tell. He does like a quick little half circle. And I was like, oh, that osprey's got you. I grabbed my phone, and I got the video of him taking the fish down. But maybe getting a bite. I don't know. My bobber's getting messed with. So yeah, feel bad when that happens, but I would have kept the fish if I knew he wasn't going to survive. He took right off and he did his own thing, and I thought he was a survivor. I got a real nice Canon with like 800 mm lens and all that. I was teasing a photographer a while back. I was like, oh man, you could probably get like great takedown videos of osprey. You go out and chum the water. You throw a couple little trout out there that'll do the belly up. Then just wait for that bird to come take it down. And it's a fact, man. It's a fact. I didn't intend to do it. But boy, it works, man. That little belly up trout will just sit there for a few minutes. That osprey, especially the other end of the lake where the ospreys sit in the trees. They're tough. They'll give each other attitude, man. want to go on the outside of the seam where I saw that guy a second ago. It's warming up. I gotta start off with endless layers. 3 layers when I'm out here at 40 degrees. This is like we're about mid-50s now. All right, guys, a couple more casts and we're gonna call it. Time to get out of here and go check out some other lives. Let's see what we can get on that outer ridge of the seam. Yeah, it really is. I spend a lot of my time in nature. I'm just so much more comfortable with nature. For my business, we steal stones and rocks, jewelry, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Uh-oh. That was a bite. And that's a fish. That's a fish. That's a fish, guys. Oh yeah, that's a fish. That's a fish. He's giving me tood. He's pulling. He's pulling. Oh yeah, he's pulling. He's flipping. He's flopping. He's giving me tood. He's giving me tood. Fish on, fish on, fish on. Yeah, I'm big time rock hound. I go digging in a lot of places, and then I'll come back and I'll work him for the shop. Oh boy, it's a good sized fish, man. He's got some weight to him. Or he's giving me some tood. I can't tell what's what. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you got some pull. Whoa, he's going. He not happy, guys. He done not happy. He says, what's going? Whoa! Wow, that was a big pull. Whoa! Whoa, he's pulling me, man. Oh yeah, this is a beaut. This is a beaut. Another beautiful fish. Oh, wow. Woo, he goes. Off he goes. He's back. Oh, he's back. He's back. This is a chunk. I think this chunk's going home with me, guys. This is a big chunk. It's about it's a good 4-pound fish. This a chunk. This a big trout. Big trout. You going home, Buck? You going home with me? Oh yeah. Teaching me how to fillet? You're my fillet teacher? All right. You be my fillet teacher. Holy lip hook. Man, that was a good hook. There was no getting that hook set out. Big Chunks. Oh, Chunks, you're a beautiful fish. Stay there, Chunks. Stay down, Chunks. Chunks. Chunk. Thank you, Chunk. Thank you. Thank you, good fish. Mr. Fish. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, fish. That's fish. Thank you. All right, guys, I'll show you the fish. Oh, that's a chunk, man. There's a big fish. Big fish. Look at this beaut. That's about a 3-pound fish, guys. That's a big, good tasty fish. Good tasty fish. Good tasty fish. I gotta prep the fish, guys. Give me a sec. Anytime you catch salmon or steelhead, these are like steelhead sized trout, guys. You gotta bleed them right away. YouTube is not cool about that, so I don't show any of this. But you go in and you cut the gills, so then all the blood that's in there rushes out of them. It's really important because we don't want that iron, weird tastiness into the meat. Yes. Yes. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yeah, I'm sure the heck did.
Yeah, Petrovsky stones are pretty nice, man. I make all kinds of jewelry and all kinds of cool stuff on them. Doing some beads soon here. It's gonna be nice. There's the stringer. Got 2 beautiful fish on it. 2 amazing fish today, guys. About 20 inchers. 2 to 3 pound fish each. Really nice. That's what I'm gonna bring home. Leave the other ones. This is the river that's flowing right down here. It's the Sacramento River. It's moving. This is about 4 foot deep, and the deepest over there. There's no way I would cross that with my waders. That would toast me. That thing is moving. Well, all you beautiful people, I really appreciate you all here. It's been great sharing my live with you, catching back up. I missed you guys. It's been nice seeing everybody on everyone else's lives. But you guys are beautiful people. Goat. Kamara, be driven. It's been great, man. I'm gonna give you the moderator status, B. So you know that you're part of the crew and the group. I appreciate you, be driven. It's been great talking to you. And yeah, I look forward to checking out your channel. Maybe I got a few bee related questions I'll throw your way at some point, B. My name is Blue Wolf, Sky Blue Fishing. Sky is my kitty cat, my Siamese kitty cat Sky, and so kind of a combination of the two. Blue, I go by the name Blue most of the time. All you beautiful people out there, appreciate you. You're the best. Keep being good humans. Love you too, Chaos. Be good, man. You guys all be good. I appreciate every single one of you out there. Talk to you guys soon. Bye now.